Hold up, yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element, it's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights, I got it there, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well, a penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy, the riches got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me, but known for my city like OAGZ. Set the pace as long as you finish, consumers find a way inside your business. Babble if they try to dabble in it and they hate the fact that they may have to witness. You try to aim for the top like this, and you're in your element with a fire like this, and they hoping you fall and they praying you miss, but it's all in the risk. I got you with the switch, you know.
I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas. 155 on the road. You could be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy, cause I know I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element. Ooh.
I'm in my element, flow is like water, I'm forced through the fire, I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth, following God, and you grinding, you do as you told. I don't work to make you like me, but I'm front and center, word to Spike Lee. And God came in the nick of time, they think I'm crazy, well I might be. Let's run it up, run it up, run it up. We beating the odds just to sum it up. You know it's a rap, never waistlines, and I'm cutting the weight like a tummy tuck. That mean I'm about to give it all right now. You see what's coming down the line, I never pipe down. I give 100% and be trying to stun on my enemies, in my element is crazy, it's the mic sign.
One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas. 155 on the road. You could be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy, cause I know I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element. Never switch up. 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 I'm in my element.
Yeah, gotta aim for the top like. Hold up, yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element, it's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got them, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well, a penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy, the riches got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me, but known for my city like OAGZ. Set the pace as long as you finish, consumers find a way inside your business. Babble if they try to dabble in it and they hate the fact that they may have to witness. You try to aim for the top like this, and you're in your element with a fire like this, and they hoping you fall and they praying you miss, but it's all in the risk. I got you with the switch, you know.
I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas. 155 on the road. You could be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy, cause I know I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element. Ooh.
I'm in my element, flow is like water, I'm forced through the fire, I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth, following God, and you grinding, you do as you told. I don't work to make you like me, but I'm front and center, word to Spike Lee. And God came in the nick of time, they think I'm crazy, well I might be. Let's run it up, run it up, run it up. We beating the odds just to sum it up. You know it's a rap, never waistlines, and I'm cutting the weight like a tummy tuck. That mean I'm about to give it all right now. You see what's coming down the line, I never pipe down. I give 100% and be trying to stun on my enemies, in my element is crazy, it's the mic sign.
I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. Foot on the gas. 155 on the road. You could be a friend of me, an enemy. Keep that same old energy, cause I know I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. Keep that same energy. I'm in my element. Never switch up. Never switch up. Never switch up. Never switch up. Never
Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Salute. One more game. We always do it twice. We stay consistent over here. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Good, afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are at right now. Boxing. As news is coming out, we had a crazy weekend of boxing, right? Great show on, on Sunday? We had a great show. Great follow-up show to Saturday show. Great panel. Shout out to the panel. We'll be opening it up today as usual. That's what it's all about. It's about the engagement, man. I love the engagement. Shout out to the community. The past couple of shows we've been doing, opening up the panels, trying to find that common ground, right in the middle. We don't want to be like everybody else, but we definitely want to engage with the community. Super important to build this community the right way, a community that loves boxing, that loves politicking on boxing. We're building scholarship here. This is beyond just trolling or drama chasing or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you call it, right? The shock DJ value show. We try to keep it fun, but I also want to upgrade the scholarship in the community and expose the scholarship of the community. And I think we did a great job of doing that on Sunday. Shout out to everybody who was up on the panel, from coaches, from Hector Bermudez to Coach Bernard Hackett, down to 444 and HLD, and all the all the people that's in the chat, right, that watch the sport on the complete landscape of boxing, not just one or two boxers that just love boxing. Shout out to all those guys. You guys made it a great experience on Sunday. And of course, shout out to my co-host. Shout out to Angela Reyes. Shout out to Ray Davis, who came up at some point as well. A great show. And hopefully today we follow suit and do the same thing. We got some things to cover today. We all know the space is still buzzing over Alexander Usyk and Rico Verhoeven. And listen, I think, like I said on Sunday, opinions are opinions, and everybody should have their opinions. Whether you thought he won, whether you thought he lost on the cards, whether you thought whatever the reasons you were behind the performance, whatever you thought it might have been, but on a technical level, right, just on what it is, on the rules is, I think there isn't any real argument about that. So as the space heals from this, I see a lot of channels, from Talk Sports, right, all the way down to the content creator YouTube, like my channel, still talking a little bit about it and just talking about the injustice and the political corruption inside of the sport, which I think has always been here. This is not a brand new thing, so it doesn't need that much attention, right? We've got so much happening. It is fight week, but on the back end of that, of course, Turki Alalshikh on the back end of these events does seem to generally roll out some information to get the space buzzing. And the big information on the table right now is David Benavidez, Jai Opetaia in Egypt, Turki Alalshikh. And we spoke about it here, right, before David Benavidez even got inside of the ring with Zurdo Ramirez. We talked about the possibilities of what would come on the back end of that. I know a lot of us were calling it before it happened as far as what we wanted to see. That's what we do as fans, right? So we called for David Benavidez and Jai Opetaia. Some people in the community wanted to see David Benavidez go back down to 175, finish his business up at 175, and become an undisputed champion, beat Dimitri Bivol, hopefully, right? Want to see David Benavidez continue to chase his legacy, right, and accomplish things and go ahead and assert himself as a real pound-for-pound fighter in the world, which I think there's an argument there, obviously, to say that he's already done it. I think right now, on some people pound-for-pound list, he's around number 3, number 2, right? And then I think Ring Magazine might have him around, 5 or something like that. So he's continuing to just accomplish things. But Jai Opetaia, a fighter who we feel like hasn't been given the opportunity really to do it, right? But in the space he's in, has been able to accomplish a lot, all considering, right? But seems like Jai Opetaia is still chasing down that signature fight that cements him. He's not on the pound-for-pound list right now, which a lot of us would disagree with, including myself. I think he should be on that list. But, the way to get there, obviously, is to make the fights, make the biggest fights. Turki Alalshikh takes position with Jai Opetaia and pretty much rolls out that he's interested in putting this fight together, which I thought he would be. I don't see why he wouldn't be, especially on the back end of that performance David Benavidez put against Zurdo Ramirez, becoming a unified champion in the cruiserweight division. Clearly, I think the writing was on the wall that this was a super fight that the space would love, and that somebody like Turki Alalshikh, who loves boxing, would jump behind as well. So that's what we're hearing now, right? And we also hearing on the other side, on the Jose Benavidez Sr. side, on the David Benavidez side, that there is a willingness on that side to come together and make this fight. And maybe what's happening now is the traditional space is starting to become more aware and opening that third eye and realizing, you know what? There is a way to these fights. There is a bridge to these fights, right? These fights are not locked away because fighters are going over to Zuffa Boxing. There isn't an island there as much as people thought there was. And because there's a way, and there's definitely money there, these conversations have taken a bit of a more realistic perspective to it, right? We are seeing things and imagining things, and it's becoming a little bit more interesting in the space right now when you think about the role that Turki Alalshikh has always played, and it seems like he will continue to play in making the biggest fights happen in boxing. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about David Benavidez. We're going to talk about Jai Opetaia. How realistic is that fight? There are things on the table. News has rolled out also on the WBO's potential position on Dimitri Bivol and his title. Seems like they want to press him a little bit to either defend that title against a mandatory, I would imagine being Caleb Smith, or maybe vacating that title. So how does that affect the conversation of David Benavidez and Dimitri Bivol fighting? David Benavidez, obviously, beating Dimitri Bivol does a lot for his resume. He's an accomplished fighter, but, you know, continuing to rip away these titles and putting pressure on Undisputed becoming feasible, David Benavidez just had a great performance at 200 pounds. Doesn't seem to be as interested at going back down to 175 as he was before going up to 200. You're hearing rumors of him talking about catch weight fights at 190 and trying to negotiate something that makes sense. I think without a doubt, you can speculate at least that David Benavidez is not interested, number one, in vacating his unified titles that he's got in the cruiserweight division, but also the Benavidez team seeing the opportunities on the other side. Maybe things have changed. A little bit of a pivot on the Benavidez side of the conversation now. Is it worth it going down and cutting that weight? When we feel so comfortable up here, clearly there's some money on the table there with Jai Opetaia, being that Turki has made it clear that he's going to be holding him down. He wants to help Jai Opetaia achieve those great things. David Benavidez is looking at the landscape. I spoke to you guys in older shows and talked about that real-time data that David Benavidez was going to be processing on the back end of that Zurdo Ramirez fight. And it wouldn't have shocked me at all for David Benavidez to have a change of heart about how he looked at Jai Opetaia as far as an opportunity is concerned. Now, David Benavidez has always acknowledged Jai Opetaia's pedigree and that he's a monster in that division and, quite frankly, the best cruiserweight in that division and the biggest fight that can be made in that division. I believe his team questioned the value of the fight in the beginning, the pay-per-view sales, the big stage. Who is Jai Opetaia? Maybe they weren't aware of the world perspective on Jai Opetaia. Sometimes in the United States, it can become a little bit of an island here, right? We kind of lose focus on the impact of international fighters on the international stage. You know, a lot of people didn't realize how big of a fighter Rico Verhoeven was in his own discipline and how that would garner the attention. They slept on Rico Verhoeven's abilities because they didn't watch him, because he operates in a different discipline. So we saw how that rolled out and how that ended up turning out. So Jai Opetaia, a up-and-coming superstar, right? He is on the verge, one signature fight away from being just as world-renowned as an Alexander Usyk, as far as I'm concerned. And David Benavidez, if you ask me, is the fight. It's the fight for both of these guys. I've been saying this from the beginning. David Benavidez versus Jai Opetaia. Jai Opetaia is David Benavidez's white tiger, and vice versa. The white tiger for Jai Opetaia is David Benavidez. This may very well be the next super fight that can be made in boxing, the biggest super fight outside of a Gervonta Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson, or, I mean, even a Canelo Alvarez and a David Benavidez fight, in my personal opinion, takes a back seat to this fight right here. This fight, two fighters, young, in their prime, punching on shit. Listen, it don't get too much better than that. If you watch Jai Opetaia fight, you love to watch him fight. If you watch David Benavidez fight, you love to watch him fight, especially on the back end of what he just did with Zurdo Ramirez. Stylistic clash for the history books, right? We got to talk about all that, right? And of course, also what we're going to talk about today is Floyd Schofield Jr. WBA orders for Gervonta Tank Davis to defend that WBA title against Floyd Schofield Jr. We got to talk about that. We've been talking about, we haven't talked about Tank in a long time here, right? But the one thing about Tank, I know a lot of the fans hate when we talk about Tank Davis. His fans don't like it because we hold him accountable, and people who don't like him don't like to talk about him because he doesn't want to fight. And what fun is a conversation about a fighter who doesn't fight? This is not Days of Our Lives. We're not soap opera fans. We want to see the big fights. But if there was ever a point in the conversation that ever held any weight on Tank Davis where we just couldn't avoid talking about him, it was that WBA, or it is that WBA title that he carries in that lightweight division. Guys, we watched Shakur Stevenson moving around. We thought that fight should be the next fight. Most people was always going to say that fight should be the next fight, but Tank made it clear. He drew that line of saying that fight did not interest him. For whatever reason you want to have, it didn't happen. I'm not here to debate you as to why it didn't happen. I'm more so here to state an obvious fact that it did not happen, and it does not look like it's going to happen anytime soon. What was Tank Davis going to do with that lightweight title? Because the title was what we were concerned about. We want the division to continue to move on. Shakur Stevenson has arguably moved on from the division, picking up a WBO title at 140 pounds, still showing interest in fighting a Raymond Morataya for a Lineal title, being that he is the number 2 ranked Ring Magazine ranked a lightweight fighter down there, and Shakur Stevenson's still number 1, right? Those guys fighting each other would produce a Lineal title. Shakur Stevenson showed interest in potentially doing that. But now rumors of Shakur Stevenson potentially signing with Zuffa Boxing. We're all in a bit of a limbo when it comes to the conversation of Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. Raymond Morataya seemingly moving away, not away from the fight with Shakur as much as moving on, right? Well, he's not getting the head nod he needs to be confident in that fight happening next. So he's talking about, defending, having a voluntary defense. Robert Garcia spoke on it a little bit. But the division with an Abdullah Mason, the youngest champion in the game right now, holding that WBO title, right? The WBC title still floating in the air. Lamont Roach, William Zepeda is what the conversation is about when it comes to the WBC. So one of those guys will carry the torch and be that WBC champion in the lightweight division. And of course, as far as what's missing, you got the WBA, the WBO, Abdullah Mason, the WBC between those guys, and the IBF title being held by Raymond Morataya, right? So the division seems ready to go, but an inactive fighter in Gervonta Tank Davis holds up the conversation of undisputed in that division. Floyd Schofield Jr. has been primed and positioned for a long time to be a champion or get a shot at becoming a champion. The WBA jumps into the conversation as they should, and now getting involved with it, putting that pressure on Gervonta Tank Davis. What will Gervonta Tank Davis do? Gervonta Tank Davis is a fighter who has told the world multiple times that he doesn't care about titles. Titles don't mean anything to him. He's one of those guys who push that narrative about titles, right? Showing the world that you can make a lot of money and not chase unifications and undisputed and lineal championships and things of that nature. And because of that, maybe there's a bit of a revolutionary tone to his conversation, to the way boxing fans looked at the belts, but also a bit of a, as if you're a fan of legacy in boxing, Gervonta Tank Davis isn't your friend, right? He doesn't fight his contemporaries. He doesn't go for unifications and undisputed. So what will Tank do? Does he value the belt as much as he says he doesn't, right? Or he says he doesn't value the belt, but does he? And I guess we'll find out, because either Tank Davis will vacate the WBA title, pursue other opportunities outside of championships. Maybe the rumors still hold true that he plans on going to 140 and fighting for an interim WBC title that Isak Pitbull Cruz has. Maybe he wants to leverage that WBA title and walk into a Gary Antoine Russell fight at 140, right? There are different things that Tank can do, But one way or another, it does seem like the sanctioning body is pressing Tank as far as what he's going to do in the lightweight division with that WBA title. And Floyd Schofield Jr. waits impatiently at this point on the sidelines, waiting to find out what that decision is going to be. We'll talk about that lightweight division as well. We'll talk about Floyd Schofield Jr. I've been following Floyd Schofield Jr. Although we don't cover him that much on here, there's always an elephant in the room when it comes to Floyd Schofield Jr., and that is Floyd Schofield Sr. Even Oscar De La Hoya kind of had an undertone comment, and I'll play it a little bit later today, an undertone comment referring to Floyd Schofield Sr. and just, an uncomfortable, seems like he's not on the same page as Senior potentially as much as he used to be. And a lot of fighters over there, Golden Boy, I don't want to say a lot, right? But, a couple of fighters, Virgil Ortiz obviously being one of them. But, there's always been a history there of where the fighter and Oscar De La Hoya kind of get on different pages. They don't align at some point on the journey. Senior's been pushing, the number one advocate, pushing for Floyd Schofield Jr. get his opportunity. There were fights on the table being offered to him, and it seems like they didn't take all those offers on the back end of that Tevin Farmer performance. They wanted their just due. They wanted their opportunity becoming a champion, and they got kind of tired of making excuses for Gervonta Tank Davis. At one point or another, Gervonta Tank Davis was a champion in recess. Senior congratulated Tank and said, "Hey, man, that's what's up, man. He's not going to fight us. He got other things to do. Just let go of that belt," has always been their position. Let go of that belt. Let us fight for it. Let us fight Lucas Body for that belt. Let's continue the conversation. I'm here for Kid. Shout out to Tank. And it seems as it seemed that the sanctioning bodies were becoming wishy-washy, and that fight between them and Lucas Body seemed to be, further and further away from them, because I'd imagine Lucas Body wasn't interested in fighting them for no interim title or no eliminators. Both of those guys felt like they earned their right to fight for that title. And Oscar De La Hoya, he's a acquired taste. Oscar De La Hoya is an acquired taste. And I'm trying to be very respectful, because I do plan on being in this boxing space for a long time. And I'm not trying to burn bridges with big promoters or promotional companies or networks, but it's hard to get around that elephant in the room with Oscar De La Hoya. So as respectful as I can make it, I'm going to say he's an acquired taste, right? And maybe that just not working for the Schofields at this point, who've signed a 5-year deal. I don't know, what was the rumor, $5 million, 5 years. Maybe that's not working for them as much as they thought it was, as they have been so inactive, and inactivity killing a lot of young fighters' careers. They're looking to be active. We'll talk about that, right? Because Junior now doing interviews by himself. Shout out to you, Senior. And I'm gonna shout out to Senior, because we hold Senior accountable on this channel all the time for being over of his presence in the media, and specifically when it comes to Junior's voice, seeming like he's choking his voice, not allowing him to have his own brand, his own identity, his own relationship with his own fans that don't involve Senior, always overlooking it. I'm seeing Junior doing interviews now by himself. He just did one with The Last Stand. And he also has done a couple with Mill City. So there's some comfort there. Senior pulling back a little bit, allowing Junior to kind of get his own identity, and hearing Junior speaking for himself, a breath of fresh air, right? Because he does have a personality, very intelligent, very articulate, passionate about his own career, what he wants done, the things he wants to accomplish. And it is refreshing to hear from him, right? So we might play a little bit of The Last Stand as well today, to hear Junior's perspective on everything going on in boxing, from not only Gervonta Tank Davis, but other super fights with Shakur Stevenson, fights with Keyshawn Davis, fights with Abdullah Mason, pursuing 140. And we'll talk about that as well. He's been campaigning. I've always looked at Floyd Schofield Jr. as a big 135 pounder, right? So saying that he's young and growing still, how much longer does Floyd Schofield Jr. plan on campaigning at 135? He's getting to that point now to where it seems like the only reason he's in that division is for a title. And if he can't get the title, if the WBA is going to continue to coddle Tank Davis and allow him to hold that title and not defend it, then what next for Floyd Schofield Jr.? 140 seems to be cooking up. right? It's cooking up. It's just been doing its thing, man. Gary Antoine, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, at one point Richardson Hitchens. But I mean, even Adam Azim is getting ready to have a fight coming up this week. He's looking to get in the conversation of picking up an IBF title, you know what I'm saying, at 140, right? He's saying, you know, I want to get my shot. So, you know, let me run it with Lindelfo Delgado. You know what I'm saying? Hitchinson's vacated the title. Let me become a champion in the division. So we got a lot of things to talk about clearly, right? My long-winded ass has got so much on this on my monologue, I guess you can call this, but we got a lot to talk about. And of course, we will be opening up the panel. I need to hear from you guys. I need to hear from you guys what you think about this. What do you see the game plan? What's the pathway to this fight? There's other things involved in the Jai Opetaia conversation. Undisputed, clearly part of the conversation, always part of the conversation with Jai Opetaia. How does he get there? We have a unified champion in that division by David Benavidez, but Jai Opetaia, with the drama being stripped by the IBF, we're hearing rumors of big money being put behind lawyers to take the IBF to court on the way they handled stripping him. Will they come up victorious on the other side, and will Jai get that title back? Also, rumors about negotiations going on in the background for him to get a shot at the WBC title. So if Jai Opetaia if everything can be moved around, we can see Jai Opetaia unified and already carrying a lineal title. David Benavidez carrying a unified a unified title or jacket in the division. An undisputed super fight between David Benavidez and Jai Opetaia could be closer than people want to admit, right? Or acknowledge. If you read the ring, shout out to the thumbnail and shout out to the show as well. If you read the ring, really there's a lot of things cooking in the background in boxing right now. And of course, Turki Alalshikh has his hands all the way elbow deep in those conversations when it comes to the big money. We're going to talk about all those things. Let me shout out to everybody in the building. Mr. Big Play Bray, shout out for the $2 for the first color in the chat today, man. Salute to you, family. Thank you, man. Says $2 Tuesdays. Everyone match $2. Hell yeah, man. Everybody match. My guy, Mr. Big Play. I like that. $2 Tuesdays, man. I like that, man. Everybody throw $2 in there. Support the channel. Support the grind. Let's get Claymore out of the truck and doing this full time. If you fucking with the energy, you fucking with the channel, man, show some love. Don't be scared to do it at all, man. Shout out to Atheist Ghostbusters, always showing love in the building. Says, did you see Benavidez Sr. say he called Jai and Dana and they won't return his calls? Do you believe him? We're going to talk about that today, Atheist Ghostbusters. Listen, Jose Benavidez Sr., I'm not going to call him a liar. I got a lot of respect for Jose Benavidez Sr. I've spoken to him before. Very humble, an organic person, a genuine person, an authentic person. And this is what I walked away feeling when I spoke to Jose Benavidez Sr., okay? When I spoke to Jose Benavidez Sr., what I felt was genuine, authentic, passionate, right? Always respectful to other fighters, always respectful to me, to the people who introduced me to him. I can't say one negative thing about Senior in real time. Always seemed to be a guy who's willing and chasing the smoke, big supporter of his son. You know what I mean? Let go of everything to have a better relationship with his son, with his grandchildren. I mean, just an A1 guy. So bringing it full circle to saying, yeah, I believe him. I think without a doubt, the Benavidez team is in a position right now to where they have a lot of options. And I could definitely see Senior trying to separate the real from the fake. He's trying to find out how real are these opportunities. Like I told you guys, there's been a lot of real-time data turned over since that Zurdo Ramirez fight, as far as the likeliness of the Dimitri Bivol fight, as far as the likeliness of David Benavidez cutting that weight and going down to 175, as far as new offers on the table, potentially, as Turki Alalshikh has shown interest in David Benavidez in multiple fights. One of them being Jai Opetaia, the other one being Alexander Usyk. Super fights, super money on the table. So yeah, I think that we have a Jose Benavidez Sr. who's not only a trainer of David Benavidez, but also an active manager of his fighters, being super interested in finding out about how real these offers are and how willing these fighters are to get in the ring with his son, right? But I also believe that there's a time and a place for everything. When you're looking at the event that just happened this weekend, it doesn't shock me that Jai Opetaia might be waiting on Turkey. Jai Opetaia is also in active negotiations to fight for a WBC title. Turki Alalshikh is also actively looking at what he's going to do with Usyk next, what he's going to do with AJ and Tyson Fury. So many things going on. So is everybody ready to drop everything and just talk to Senior about a fight being made between Jai Opetaia and David Benavidez when Jai Opetaia has a fight in front of him that he has to take care of? Right? So, yeah, it doesn't have to be all. Everything can coexist. Everybody can be right. Senior could be actively trying to figure out things. Jai Opetaia could be actively interested in making that fight with David Benavidez. And, of course, phone calls may not be happening the way everybody wants them to happen because of how many things are going on politically in the space between both fighters who are both building their brand and their presence in the boxing space, right? So yeah, hope that answers that question, man. You know me, I go deep, I'm long-winded, and I got a lot of words that I want to get out my damn head at the same damn time. Shout out to WP3636 says challenge accepted. By the way, WP, I appreciate the 33 cents. And I'm gonna tell you why, right? People don't know. Well, people know, but they don't think about the fact that these super chats, YouTube taxes our asses, right? Like in all reality, I should be pushing for people to send money to the Cash App. Maybe I will start doing that, start scrolling that at the bottom, showing everybody the Cash App. We got the channel does have a PayPal, things of that nature. But that 33 cents is so appreciated because it means I get the full two. The full $2. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's why you did it, if you thought about that when you put $2.33 on there. But I'm telling you, it meant something. I'm reading the room, and I appreciate that 33 cents, brother. Thank you. Shout out to Coach Hector Bermudez in the building. Coach, Coach, let me know. Put in the chat if you feel like coming up here early and getting in on this conversation. Let me know. I'm going to throw out the link later anyway. But whenever I see you, I love talking to you, Coach. You always got such a great perspective. I've always loved your perspective in the space. But sometimes our timeline doesn't fall in the same place. But if you are willing to, let me know. I will throw the link out right now, and you can come up right now anytime you feel like it. Let me know. My guy says, grow the beard back, LOL, beard gang. Yeah, I'm growing the beard back. I just wanted my face to breathe, man. If you notice on this side right here, it's got a little discoloration. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? I need to, putting all those oils in my beard and everything like that. I wanted to just grow it back and let my skin catch some air. Spring is here. So I cut it off, but yeah, it's going right back. We are beard gang, bro. You will rarely ever find, even my wife, actually, I ain't gonna lie to you. My wife loves that I don't have a beard. She actually wishes that I would be clean cut, back in the day. She said, every time she sees me, look how young you look. You don't understand, but yeah, beard gang all day, Coach. Beard gang all day. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Let me go ahead down the list. Mr. Big Play Bray, who put something in the super chat a little earlier, says, good afternoon, boxing family. Shout out to you. Curtis Robinson in the building says, Claymore Rain blessing. Shout out to you. My God, Sam from Jersey, man. Sam from Jersey, man. Claymore Rain blessing, blessing us with that good boxing talk while we at work for sure, man. Thank you, Sam from Jersey. Always here to give you something to listen to, man. Shout out to I'm Just Someone in the building, says salute Clay, Angelo, and chat. Angelo about to be up here in a second, man. Let me see here. Bulbous Boxing Academy says, start the stream already. We don't need to hear the terrible music. Bah humbug. Y'all know y'all love the track. Shout out to Frank Bentley, man. The song hitting. It's hitting, man. Donnie 956 in the building. Salute to Donnie 956 in the building, man. Says, yo, SOB TV 52 in the building, says salute Claymore. Blessings, brother. Salute to you, family. Mon Yours in the building says, salute Claymore the Rain Man. Salute, 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 salute. Tavon Burns in the building with the salute emoji. Welcome down Van Howder. Cheeks in the building with the salute emoji. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me see if I'm missing anybody. Bulbous Academy says, Rico got screwed 100%. Kaisu 953 in the building says, phew. Tuesday afternoon, let's get it. Salute to ATP and the chat. Oh, I think that was a woo. I think that's what it was. It wasn't a hue. It was a woo. Rick, shout out to Ric Flair. You know what I'm saying? Khalil World in the building. Good morning, Queen. Hope everything is doing well for you, Queen. Hope the sunshine has hit your beautiful face and you're having a great day today. To the Queen, Khalil World. Smile for me. Could you just smile for me? Joseph Jackson in the building. Salute Joseph Jackson in the building. Heavy Chevy guy in the building says salute Clay. Salute to you, man. Pugilist Pugilist Shiznik 6596 in the building with the 12 syllable name. Says salute Clay and salute to the chat, man. Akeem Blake, peace to the gods on earth, guidance and blessings. Clay, why I deal with Akeem? Why I deal with SSSM 1999 says what's good, Clay? Shout out to you, man. True Power Media in the building. What's good, True Power? What's good? Man, hit the likes, man. Subscribe to the channel, of course. He says hit the likes. Got to, man. H-Town, Texas in the building, man. Round 1 in the building says, Clay, my God, what's good with you, man? What's goody with you, man? What's goody with you, man? Let me see if I'm missing anybody. Donnie 956. I don't know if I said what's up to you already. King James in the building. King James 7963. Yo, what up? King James. D Patino in the building. What it do, though? The Libra. Sagat Fin. Moonlock Guy, man. Moonlock Guy in the building, bro. Step it up. If you know, you know. If you know, you know already, man. If you don't, ask somebody. Somebody will tell you if you don't know. Manuel 408 in the building. Salute to you. Adam Hurley in the building. Salute. Bradley Love 455 says Opetaia will get his ass. Money sign emojis whooped bad. Will he? Will he, Bradley? Will he get his ass whooped bad? Maybe. I don't know. I think there's definitely some people out there who would definitely argue the other side of that conversation. 2 Sizzle, 2 cents in the building. What up, though? What up, 2 cents? What's good with you, family? Big Boss 5561 in the building says, Clay, tell Angelo love him, man. But I was watching Old Mad TV earlier. He reminds me of Yams Mash. Well, he'll be up here in a second. Maybe he knows what the hell you're talking about. But shout out to you, big boy, big boss. Good to see you in the building, man. Definitely, man. Blue Hustle, man, in the building. What up, Claymore Rain in the chat? Ordinary M in the building. So let's go, Clay. What up with it? I think I got everybody, man. I feel like Scoon Corleone in the building. What up, Scoon? What's good with you? And of course, no problem in the building with the big zoo. The big zoo. With the boxing gloves, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's have a great show. Let's have at it. The link will go in the chat a little bit later. So pay attention to what we're talking about. But before we go any further, you already know I got to bring them up. You love to hate him. You just love to hate him. Or you hate that you love him. I can't stand I love D'Angelo. I can't stand how much I love that. I can't stand it. Either way, he's in the building. You know he ain't going nowhere. Shout out to Angelo. Jello. What's good, man? What's good with you, King? Mute. You're muted. You're definitely muted.
I was sorry about that. I was saying, you start out singing Scarface, right? Yeah. Shout out to Scarface. I don't know if people even know that
they don't.
Track you're singing.
They don't.
Oh, but man, if we get that Rihanna button, Clay. Hey, God, I love you.
I don't know if I'm ready to lose the monetization.
Yeah, that's true.
At some point, I'm gonna get to that point where I don't care. But I think right now every little penny counts. Shout out to Sam from Jersey, by the way. Put that $5 in the last minute. Here says Clay, you make the fights live was the best live you did all year, and you did some great live. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, I know you got a whole slate of subjects that we're gonna go over, and there's just a lot of news, but it's hard to get away, Clay, from talking about Zuffa because they're signing. So I think they're up to 121 in the roster now. There's a bunch of UK signings that they just released, and then they're already filling out the June 28th card. There's already news about this whole Benavidez Opetaia, which I'm sure you and I will get into. And now that I know it is really, really close, I'm gonna start making sure I don't hurt the fight anyway now. So my joking about it will stop, Clay. I'm gonna be very
listen. like I always say, man, time is you can't put a price tag on time, man. Right? We talk about that. You can't put a price tag on it, and sometimes you just got to give it some time, man. When there's so much going on. But one thing I was very confident about, Angelo, and I said it from the beginning, was I don't see David running from the smoke, man. I don't see it, bro. It's just a matter of getting the real time. Sometimes it's about yeah, I know how you feel about it. Like if I'm David Benavidez, like I hear all of you guys, but I want the information to come to me. Let me see the paperwork come. Let me see what it's looking like. I'm a businessman, because when you're talking about negotiation, Angelo, you already know, bro. Nobody want to sound thirsty. Everybody want to stand on their square, control their leverage, and be like, I mean, we could fight. It's something I can see myself doing. Wow.
Right.
What you got? You know what I'm saying? Because if you start, that's all I want. That's all I want to see happen. It just moves away on the business side. It's not a smart thing to do. So I think Turkey also had to show some real interest in it, right? He had to show it the right way.
That's the most important. That was the most important.
He had to show like, now Turkey's involved in it in real time, not just in, walk by conversation. He's like, I want to see this fight happen. Now, all of a sudden, Senior even reached out, right? He put it out. We'll talk about that. Senior saying, I called, right? So, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, there's a pivot in the tone of the conversation now, where the tone was, what's it really worth to me? What has he really done? And all of a sudden, he's putting out there, I actually reached out because I want to make the fight. Now, why? Because the energy is changing. The tone is changing. Turkey's showing interest. And these guys are about making the big money, man. They're not going to walk away from the best bag in the game.
Yeah, no, and I agreed with your statement earlier where you're saying that people aren't seeing yet how big this fight actually is. And part of the reason why they're just not seeing it is if you're in the American space, and more importantly, if you're just in the small niche boxing space, you have to understand that there's a huge WWE fan base, or even a great UFC fan base, and there's the NFL, right? Like rugby. So Jai's side of the PR is going to be bringing a lot of different fan bases to it. So he actually is a big money guy, mainly because Turkey, who he's arms in arms with in Egypt, Clay. I mean, you've seen the pictures. They're arm in arm together. Turkey's like, this is my guy, Jai Opetaia. So don't be surprised if you start seeing the ring emblem on a Jai uniform here soon, because he believes that Jai really is his guy, right? So I think money-wise, it won't be an issue. I do know that the McCallan fight is still there. I think that's what was holding up the July 12th date. So maybe they will push it later. I don't know what's taking so long on the McCallan side. It's not all the way done. Jai's ready to go. He's been training. He was training in Cairo. You already saw him doing that wrestling with Terrence Crawford. Shout out to Terrence Crawford for always bullying everyone.
He always good for Terrence Crawford is always willing to have a good old little squabble. You know what I'm saying, let's tussle. Let's tussle a little bit. We can tussle a little bit. You tussle? Oh, let's move the table. He said he tussle.
Yeah. No, I like it for Terrence too, because you could tell that there's even though Jai Opetaia is so much bigger than Terrence Crawford, there was a big brother, little brother energy to it. You know what I mean? Like that was really fun to see. So I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, man, if Terrence Crawford starts to help out Jai Opetaia. And why not, Clay? Why wouldn't he help Jai Opetaia? You know what I mean? So
I mean, why wouldn't he help anybody, right? I mean, outside of him having an issue with you, I think Terrence Crawford is always shown as somebody who's been available if he's available, right? If I'm available, he has no problem stepping by the gym, watching you spar, maybe giving you some pointers on what he's seeing, or even putting on the gloves. And you know what I'm saying, and running a couple rounds with you, right? You never know.
No, that'd be pretty fun to see. So, but hey, on the slate, because I know you brought up Tank we haven't talked about in a while. But what's the first thing on the slate that you kind of want to go back and forth with? Or we might agree today. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean,
I only had two topics for real. You know what I'm saying? One of them being Floyd Schofield Jr., man. He's now, I see things changing over there, right? I'm seeing Senior kind of, Senior's still as vocal as he's ever been. He's always there on Mill City. Shout out to Mill City. But, shout out to Mill City, by the way, as well, because Mill City plays a big role. People sleep on how influential his platform is on making fights, on giving fighters a platform to deliver their messages on what fights they're interested in, the steps they're taking in that direction. Like, he has a unique platform in comparison to to any of his contemporaries. And he also helps these young fighters like Floyd Schofield Jr. find their voice by constantly interviewing them, almost giving them a bit of a media training every time, to kind of show how to roll it out. And he's one of the main platforms that the Schofields have always felt comfortable using. And shout out to Mill City, never pressuring Schofield Sr. to get off the camera or, me personally, I've shared my personal disinterest in that approach, you know what I'm saying, for the scene. But because of him, I think I had to give him the credit, because if we see Junior doing an interview with The Last Stand without his father, I would say that's a comfort that was built from what Mill City provided, right? I think Senior seeing what he needed to see, whatever it was that he wanted to see from Junior through the constant interviews with Mill City, to where he literally doesn't, like in this interview with The Last Stand, I don't know if he was even in the room, right? Not to say he wasn't, because he probably was, right? But he didn't. I didn't see Junior look up and kind of like, whenever you see things like that, the thing with me with Junior has always been that I wonder how he would speak if he didn't feel the pressure of being eyebrow beat by his father, right? Always nervous about saying the wrong thing or how he's talking. That's what it's always been, right? So in that interview with The Last Stand, I don't know if you saw it, but it was a good interview. Junior really talked sense, man. And most of the time when I hear Junior talk, he is talking sense, super articulate, very humble, very passionate about his career, very passionate about making the biggest fights. And I'm seeing that, right? I'm seeing that from him. And of course, on the back end of the WBA now pushing for this fight to happen, for that title to be defended, we're going to start seeing Junior a lot more in the media space. He's been more in the media space, really showing his discontent for the way the WBA has been moving. He's even shown a little bit of issue with Oscar, a little bit, right? Relating to Virgil a little bit, kind of like, I know how you feel, bro. Hey, Virgil, I get it. You ain't got to tell me, right? And it's like, what do you mean you get it, Junior? What exactly do you mean by that? I'm just saying, if you know, you know, right? And there was also Oscar De La Hoya. I don't know if you saw in that interview he did from the Friday night fight. He kind of undertoned some weird energy towards Senior, right? And I'm going to play it. I'm going to pull it up, actually. You know what I'm saying? And play it. There was an undertone there that I was like, am I the only one who caught that? Nobody.
No, there was the whole interview. Actually, I found really interesting. And again, we're not trying to be a channel that beats down Oscar, but at the end of the day, the tones all across the board just need to change, because again, the money man is Turkey. The whole point is to get Turkey or the Saudi fund to be interested in making a fight, right? And holding back fighters is never a good look. Right? That's never a good look. You're never going to see Zuffa hold back a fighter. They're going to be like, hey, man, I guess if you want to make that fight and we can't make it for you, you could always leave our company. 100%. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Oscar, I think, is starting to feel that the footsteps, Clay. He's, because the Virgil one is going to be interesting. All those litigations
we talk about the new DAZN deal, right? The new DAZN deal that happened there, and I told you my personal feelings about it, right? That I felt like DAZN has a precedent now, that there is an agenda for DAZN now, who's now one or two promotional companies away from being the legitimate, if one would argue right now, legitimately the home of boxing, right? They have put a lot of energy and invested a lot of resources into boxing. And I'm saying, when you compare them to, like, let's say a Paramount, for example, or Netflix, those guys have a lot of things going on. They're doing things in boxing, but they got movies, they got all. DAZN has focused on sports and really focused on boxing heavy, right? Yeah. So, but DAZN
actually, and Clay, they also have PFL going into DAZN. They're starting to
combat sports in general, right?
Combat sports in general, yeah.
Right. So they, with the presence of Zuffa, Paramount, Netflix, with all these big money machine networks getting involved in the sport, DAZN, without a doubt, has felt the need to step their game up when it comes to boxing. And one of the things that they know they've always been part of, and they were there for that era, was the across the street politics and the big fights not being able to be made. So they started to apply pressure to the Oscar De La Hoyas, right? Like, they were very much involved with the Virgil Ortiz, Jerron Boots, and his conversation. They completely were vocal on their platform about their position on Oscar De La Hoya even thinking about coordinating an Errol Spence Jr. versus Virgil Ortiz fight, right? They were like, no, not now, because Dana White, Zuffa Boxing, has not only put pressure on the promoters, but they put pressure on the networks. And I think that goes under, like, it doesn't get spoken about enough, right? Like, it's not just about Oscar and Eddie Hearn's position or Frank Warren's position on Zuffa. It was also the Zone who who was like, damn, bro, we need to.
Right.
So I believe that the new deal, and there was look, no secrets. I'm not sitting out here speculating or pushing out bad rumors. The Zone and Oscar almost didn't work out, right? Clearly, it was out there that didn't work out. So the question is, what was it that shifted that it ended up working out? And I think one of the big things was, Oscar, we need you and your clapback Thursdays to get away from hating on these big fights. Stop it, bro. You're killing us. You're killing us, bro. You're in court with Virgil. Ugly, bad look, nasty work. And then, then you almost got in the way. You seem like you were the one. You weren't with the Devin Haney-Ryan Garcia fight. Not on my watch. What do you mean not on your watch? Like, all these little points of contention that the Zone had with Oscar. So 100% Oscar's pivoted a lot on his stance on a lot of these conversations. And I think on the Floyd Schofield Jr. one, there might have been something also. Let me play this real quick, and it won't take long. Let's just comment on it and see what it is. Shout out to the Zone.
How he wants to fight Frank Davis. I don't know. He wants to fight everybody out there in these weights. What have you been talking about when it comes to Floyd Schofield? What do you think is next for him?
And God bless the father, but look, Floyd Schofield is ready for anybody. He's probably the hardest working fighter in the sport today, the most talented fighter out there today. I believe he will be world champion. I'm waiting for the WBA to make their final decision, whether he's going to fight for the full world title or whether he's going to fight a #1 contender for the title. So it all depends on what the WBA is going to mandate. We're waiting for that. But I believe in Schofield. He is the next world champion.
Right. So listen, man, even right there, him saying fighting for a #1 contender. No, bro. He is the #1 contender. He doesn't need to fight for it. And I think that's where him and Schofield Sr. probably aren't on the same page, right? Where it's like, because if Senior's the one pushing the WBA, I think there's an argument there, and you let me know what you think. Is there an argument there that Senior shouldn't even be the one pushing as hard? It should be Oscar, right? Why? If Senior has to petition the WBA himself and make it a big deal, he's doing it because nobody else is doing it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, again, I know that the channel gets a lot of hate, Clay, because we tend to hold, whoever you are, your fighter, your manager, father, promoter, we hold you accountable to do the very job you're supposed to do, right? And to your point, I think our whole thing with Oscar has always been, bro, stop wasting time doing anything other than promoting your fighters.
Right.
Because the whole point is to give them a pedestal and promote them, right? So the fact that what you're saying is true, that, well, now maybe Oscar's gonna start trying to do the very thing that Schofield Sr. has been doing the whole time. I think that when I hope fighters are listening to us when they hear us speak like this, at least for me in my experience, I've always gravitated or advised fighters and their parents or whoever to go to the deal that's going to put you in the best position. And let's be honest, Clay, prior to Zuffa coming in and getting paychecks up like Bam Rodriguez's check, even though he stayed on the sanctioning side of the street, or even DAZN. And again, I don't want to say that we heard someone from DAZN basically tell these promoters, hey, toe the line. But we have had Mike Leon on the program before, and I think that the overall consensus is DAZN is telling these promoters, toe the line. Stop messing around. We want to see fights. We want to see Xander versus Boots. We want to see Abdullah Basin versus Joe Cordina. I don't want to hear about this side of the street and that side of the street anymore. Right. I just want to hear about you saying yes to fights that we, DAZN, are willing to pay for. That's what we want to hear. And I think, like, to your point, Oscar's starting to toe the line. But I agree with you that, and to be fair, Oscar, if you're spending more time in the courtroom trying to hold Virgil Ortiz from getting fights,
right?
If you're spending more time doing Clapback Thursday than promoting the hell out of Schofield to the point where the regular fan base, Clay, start to go, well, I didn't even know who Schofield was, but now I know exactly who he is. And I would love to see Schofield fight Davis. Like, that's your job as a promoter. And if you're doing anything less than promoting your fighter, bro, you're not doing your job. And fighters should want to leave you. At least that's how I feel about it.
Listen, you're spitting hot fire right now, because that's the truth, and that's a passionate stance on something that you should be passionate about. As a fan, you should be passionate about the stance Angelo just had. As a fighter, you should be super passionate about the stance. And as a promoter, now in a very competitive space right now, you better get passionate about that stance, because fighters have options now. There are other ways to skin the cat. And that's what this free market, and that's what I think is understated when we talk about Zuffa boxing, and what people don't understand about the excitement and the support we have for Zuffa boxing, and a support for the Zone, and a support for Netflix, and a support for whatever networks are in boxing. We want them all in the same space, coexisting and competing, because in that competitive free market, it's better for the fighters, right? So now, Oscar, you need to answer the call, because phone calls will start happening. Schofield's phone will ring more than it normally does. He's an exciting young fighter. Carmel Moten, an exciting young fighter. These guys are going to start getting phone calls, and they're going to get asked, how do you like where you're at right now? How's it working out for you, champ? Just wanted to check on you and see. Are you good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fighting as much as you'd like to? Did you buy your mom the house yet? Did you retire your parents yet? I know you came into this game. Did you get the legacy? Did you get the time? You had things you wanted before you came in the game. How is that working out for you, champ? Because we're saying we see it in you. And if it's not working out where you at, you should check us out, man. And we might fly you out, man. Walk you around the facility. Talk about your dreams and your aspirations. Let's have a conversation. Yep. Bring your parents with you. Yeah, we'll fly them out. Put you guys up in a nice hotel, in a big hotel. You know what I mean? Get you guys a nice budget. Let your mom hit the slot machine a little bit while we chop it up and talk about your future, champ.
Yeah.
That feels good to a Jaleel Hackett. That feels great to
for
a
Bam Rodriguez.
Yeah, for Bam, it feels good, right? Feels good for Robert Garcia, right? And you could do your clapback Thursdays. That's great, right? But put as much passion and effort into working for these fighters, bro, because they told you what they wanted when you first promised them the world. Are you delivering? And if you're not, focus on doing that way more than anything else, man, because otherwise, man, when it's time to renew these contracts, I keep telling you guys, it's going to be an uphill battle for a lot of these promoters. It's bad enough the money on the table is something that you might not even be able to compete with. But also, if you're backing that up with not treating them right, you're sending them out the front door. At least David Benavidez has that relationship with the PBC, to where although he's getting offered so much money outside of the PBC, he still has loyalty to the PBC, because he's like, you know what, though? They treated me right. They always did. And although they're not paying me as much money, at least he has that to be like, I don't want to leave him like that, though. So, Al Heyman did a good job at building relationships with his fighters when it comes to that, to where even though they're being offered super lucrative opportunities outside of the PBC, they all seem to have that. There's a consistent loyalty thread, denominator. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that they all, Errol Spence sat out of boxing for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Because of that loyalty. Jamel Charlo dropped going crazy, sat there because of that loyalty, right? Like all these other. Why? Because if you can criticize the PBC however you want to, but what you also should do is give them flowers for the relationship they clearly built with these fighters. They clearly built that relationship. Oscar, are you doing that? Are fighters looking at you and saying, no, they're not. Historically, the track record shows that they're not doing that with you. Ryan Garcia has publicly, I've never seen so many public spats between fighters and their managers as much as with Oscar De La Hoya and his fighters, bro. Like, it's just a lot. It's too many.
Right.
It's too many. I don't even see Bernard Hopkins anymore.
Yeah, I know, right? Where'd he go?
Are you burning up with him? Shane Mosley has not nice things to say about Oscar De La Hoya, right? Bernard Hopkins no longer out there speaking on behalf of Golden Boy politics or conversations. He's in Riyadh, by the way. He's not sick in a bed somewhere, right?
Nope.
He's not unable to speak. We saw him in Egypt. He's very healthy, doing great, shaking hands and moving around, but he's not talking that Golden Boy shit that he used to talk. I don't know why, but I'm just saying something needs to change over there. Something needs to change. Well, I mean,
since you brought up the Mosley name, again, guys, you could, if you're frustrated and you want to take it out on me and Clay, that Zuffa and what they're doing has been so successful, the fighters and managers and the entire sport of boxing growing, then that's fine. But what I saw this weekend is Shane Mosley Jr. Claymore was at the American Music Awards, bro, on CBS. He's not a world champion. Last time I checked, Jesus Ramos beat him. Last time I checked, Jesus Ramos got the WBC interim championship. Hey, Clay, who do you think knows more? Who do people know more? Who? You know what I'm trying to say, right? The promotion is being done.
Yeah, there's a positioning happening, without a doubt, right?
When you're on a podcast with Nikki and Brie Bella, two of the most iconic and popular WWE stars in the history of the WWE, reality TV show stars too, in Nikki Bella, right? And you got Shane Mosley Jr. sharing his story to that group, right? To that audience. Claymore, this is why Jai Opetaia has marketing power. This is why a Jaleel Hackett will eventually become like Jaleel in a year, as long as he does everything that he's supposed to do, which is train, by the way, Clay, that his job isn't to promote. Did you know that? Did you know, Claymore, that Jaleel Hackett's job is not to promote a fight? His job is to just go train his ass off so he can be in his best performance, win or lose. You know whose job it is to promote a fight? Zuffa. That's their job. Their job is to pick up a phone and go, hey, Jaleel, we need you at the Monday Night Raw event in Baltimore. That's what they do. So, Oscar, that's all I was trying to say, Clay, which is what you were trying to say. Do your job, man. If Golden Boy's spending more money trying to find more investors to make Golden Boy have a bigger pool of money so that they could spend it on promotions and marketing, maybe people like Floyd Schofield Jr., who you and I both agree is one of the hottest, most talented, athletic fighters, Clay, that could knock people out, right? You and me, like hardcore wise, I would love to see what it would look like between Tank Davis and Schofield. Because honestly, to me, that's like a gun, that's like a Old West gunfight, right? That
is a fight of the year candidate every day of the week. People don't even, once again, this is another one of my when the space was spitting at me a long time ago. And this was around the Lamont Roach Jr. fight when it was called. And I said, why isn't this man fighting Floyd Schofield? He was number one at that time. Everybody killed me. Oh, seriously, bro? What has Floyd Schofield done to get a fight with Tank? You guys, you're never sad. You just don't, it don't matter what Tank do. You're going to find some way to complain. I'm like, I'm not complaining. I'm just being honest to say that there's people in his division he can fight. Why is he pulling up 130-pound WBA champion? And it was horrible because it was like I was hating on Lamont, and I wasn't. Like, I thought Lamont was great at 130. We talked about, we wanted to see Lamont fight O'Shaquie. We wanted to see Lamont fight Raymond Ford. We wanted to see him fighting them. We wanted to see him do all the big fights at 130. You know what I'm saying? The point of contention was always like, why pull that man up when you got fighters in your division? And I won't even mention Shakur, right, as an obvious candidate for a big fight. I'm going to say, fine. You and Shakur got something going on. You don't want to fight him. I don't even want to speculate as to why. I'm not going to say you're scared. I don't have time for it. I'm just very confident you don't want to fight him. And I'm good with that. But why not Schofield? Why not? So, yeah, now today, Schofield in that same position. He's still in that same damn position that he was in those WBA rankings, is fighting for his opportunity to become a champion. And, it's up to the WBA, and we've talked about it here, that we never really gave too much hell to Tank about it. It was just like, fine, that's his position. It's always been on the sanctioning bodies. That's always where the pressure's been. Do your job. Right, Reyes? Do your job. Tank don't want to fight. We're fine. We want to see him fight, but we're okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not about Tank. We're not trying to hate on Tank.
No,
we
not
want
at all.
the sanctioning bodies to do your job, sir,
yes,
or
sir.
ma'am. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do your job and hold boxing at the highest level. Hold it. Hold the fighters accountable, and let the fans know that you're here for boxing, bro. And let Tank know, respectfully, we love you, champ. You're one of the best champions we ever had. Yeah, the money we make for you is crazy, but if you're not going to defend that title, sir, we're going to have to do something about that. We want our title actively being defended. We want it to be in fights. We want it to be in the conversation. So at a minimum, we're going to throw you in recess and have another active, willing participant in the program, somebody who's not big in the program, to defend the title. Or if you really got an issue, or if you want to go to 140, if that's what you're saying, then look, let us leverage that WBA title for you. How about we put you in there with Gary Antoine Russell? Let's make something happen, right? Let's cook up something. Great. Let's make something happen. As a champion, we want you to represent our sanctioning body, but we can't hold up the lightweight division that's moving on without you. We got the youngest champion in the world right now is Abdullah Mason. He's cooking. They're building up a machine behind him. We've got Floyd Schofield Jr. dying to get into the conversation. We've got Raymond Morataya moving around, improving, becoming one of the best lightweights we have. We got Shakur Stevenson, your contemporary, in the division right now, literally about to leave to go to 140 to find his next best opportunity because he's moved past this. He sees the ship has sailed past. You don't want to make the fight happen. We got to get the division active. We need to get things moving. And I think they're doing the right thing now. I hope they follow all the way through with this, and hope we see something on the other side of this that turns into either Floyd Schofield Jr. getting the fight with Tank, or Tank vacating the belt, or leveraging, moving to 140. I don't know, but I want to see Floyd Schofield Jr. unify with Abdullah Mason as a champion. Right. I want to see, you know what I'm saying? I want to see Hadir Herrera get in the conversation. But I'm also excited that whatever happens between Lamont Roach and William Zepeda. I mean,
you're not shitting on the fight. You're shitting on the sanctioning body situation.
100%.
And again, that's all we're ever going to do at this channel, man. Mm-hmm. Like you can act like I joke around about this with my brother Claymore, where I'll say, well, Claymore is the one that told me that, even though I damn well know the actual rules of things. Claymore is not the one that told me it, but you guys sometimes feel like we're telling you something that's happening, but we're not the ones that made Rolly Romero the super champion. That's not us. Me and Claymore did not do that. So don't get mad at me and Claymore about it.
That's
but
crazy.
What me and Claymore will do is tell you how we're mad about it. We're not happy that they did a record, a first time ever emailed super champion. I've never even seen that.
Do better. Do better, man.
So when we say we don't have a problem with William Zepeda versus Lamont Roach, that's a great fight. We have a problem that you told Javier Herrera, who's 22 years old, that he was next in line and then just skipped him over like he was nobody. That's the problem.
I would love, by the way, for the WBC to explain their position on that particular situation, right? Like with the Ajit Kabayel one, that one's diabolical as well, but fine, right? Because Usyk is, I'm with it. He's allowed. Give him he wants to do something for some money. He wants to be part of a spectacle. Fine, right? Although I still feel like, for whatever it's worth, you should have probably just stripped him, right? Allow the G Kabayel that way, at least force Usyk's hand to fight for the title if he wants it back, the same way they did with the Daniel Dubois situation, right? Like, no, we're going to make him champion and you can become 2-time undisputed when you fight Daniel Dubois and you pick up that belt. Do the same. But I'm good. But what in the world happened that day when you guys decided, you know what? Put William Zepeda back in there. He just lost, I know, but what? Over a legitimate interim title holder who should be in the conversation of probably trying to push for a mandatory to fight Shakur Stevenson at the time when Shakur's holding the belt. He just gets to sit this one out. And you'd rather see William Zepeda and Lamont Roach, somebody who's, shout out to Lamont Roach once again. Because what I'm about to say, shout out to Lamont Roach. But that man is 140, he's 135, he's 130. Is there an argument there to say that not his turn? You know? But I'm okay with the Roach side way better than the Zepeda side. Make Roach fight Hadia Herrera. It is what it is. I would love for them to speak on what was the logic behind that, outside of what I clearly see is money. Right? That's what I see. But I'm interested in the other thing because I know it ain't money in WBC because you always say that it's not the money, it's rules. So I want to know the rule part of the game that made that make sense.
As Donnie 956 said, I don't know if this is true or not, Donnie, but maybe that is a new rule they changed because they like to change rules all the time. But if you're an organization that keeps moving the goalpost, then how are we as a fan base supposed to trust you? Right? Like you're changing the rules midstream, man. So, you know, it is what it is, Clay. I'm all about it for the fighters. I know you're all about it for the fighters. We like to put together fantasy matchups, and I think it would be a great fantasy matchup that 22-year-old Schofield versus a 22-year-old Herrera. Who knows who would win it? Would love to see it, though. But I'd also love to see a 30-year-old Tank Davis, who is celebrated as one of the biggest power punchers in the game, versus someone who, in Floyd Schofield, who is 10 years younger, that could possibly take over, right? What if Floyd Schofield, Clay, and again, I know people are going to say that I said this, Clay, so I'm ready for it. You told me this is what happens, Angelo. You say it, then they're going to say, Angelo said Floyd Schofield is the next Tank Davis. Well, how am I supposed to know that if Floyd Schofield never gets a chance to fight Tank Davis? And what if he does knock out Tank Davis, Clay? Is he the next Tank Davis? I mean, but if you never, you know, it's what we always say, right? If a tree falls in a forest and it doesn't make a sound, then, you know, or if no one heard it, then it never make a sound, right? So yeah, man. Now I know we'll transition out of this, but it did fall. Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Dub in the building. Dub, what's good? What's good? Well connected in the building, man. Man. Yeah. I mean, Roger that in the building too. Shout out to everybody who's popping up in the building. 90+ people in the building. Hit the like button as you're stepping into the building. Please support the channel and go ahead and subscribe, obviously, if you haven't done so yet either. I want to go ahead and play this little clip here of Schofield. This is a great interview, guys. You should check it. Shout out to
Brian
Custer and The Last Stand, man. He's obviously always been, you know, a staple in the community when it comes to his journalistic skills and, you know, his ability to get these big interviews. You know what I mean? Not too many people can get the interviews that Brian Custer gets, and he always asks great questions. But here is Floyd Schofield Jr. speaking on the Tank Davis situation just a little bit, right? And one thing I love about Schofield, and once again, this is why it's so important to allow him to do him, is how he can respectfully articulate his thought, respectfully articulate contention without disrespecting his opponents, right? He can do this, and he should be allowed and given the space to do this way more often. Let's hear Schofield Jr. speak on this here.
He's taking their life, man. Like, I don't know about this one. Like, you might want to like get a more couple fights in, but I'm like, at the end of the day, like, it's my career. I want to be great. I'm not trying to wait till you know, I hear people saying 28, 29. By that time, Tank is pushing 40. Like, I gain nothing from that. I want to win this fight when nobody thinks I have a chance to win. That just makes it even better. I mean, I have a family to provide for. I have my son and my daughter, like my dad, my brother's friends. Like, I'm doing this for them. It's not just for me at the end of the day. So my legacy is their legacy. And I want to build that legacy for everyone. And I just think me accomplishing something like that right now would be major.
What did you think when Tank, I guess, got on social media and said something to the effect that I'm a rattle or knock your head off, little buddy? It was his response to you.
I get that a lot. I mean, if you do, you do. But you got to earn it, though. I ain't just going to let you do it. I mean, he said that with Lamont Roach. I mean, Lamont Roach is a 130 fighter, or he was campaigning at 130. I mean, you just got to come earn it. I'm not the one to be talking online. Like, that's corny to me. Like, if you're going to do it, just do it. Accept the fight. That's how we're going to find out.
Yeah. 100% agree with him. And shout out to my brother Dub in there saying, but Dub, like, respectfully, right? Respectfully. That's not the point. Right? Right. What you're saying right here is not the point. I want to be clear. This is my guy, right? My guy from out of DC. Shout out, subscribe to his channel. This is my direct connect with anything DC related. He is way dialed into that. That is his city in real time, in a real way. Right? But that's not the point, Dub. And yeah, I'm not going to send the link right now. The link will be out there a little bit later. We're going to open it up and you can come up then. But the point isn't I want us to stop predicting the future to the point where fights aren't happening, where we're talking fights about fights in a way as if they've already happened and saying that they don't need to happen. That's not what boxing needs. Here's what the truth is. Schofield Jr. has earned an opportunity at a shot at becoming a champion. He should be that what he's earned should be honored, because if you're not going to honor it, then there's a bigger conversation that needs to happen, which is why even? And then comes the Zuffa boxing. Then comes all these different things that you guys want to talk about with these fighters who don't ever carry enough weight for you for their rights to be acknowledged. Tank's not entertaining the fights people want him to do. When it comes to Shakur, there's a reason there. When it comes to Devin, there's a reason there. We got to stop doing that on behalf of Tank, right? We got to stop representing Tank in these conversations and just requiring him to do his job. Defend your title. If you don't want the responsibilities of defending your title, vacate your title and chase only the biggest money-getting fights you want and allow the dynamic of championship belts to function freely so that we can get to seeing who the best is in the game. That's it. Let go of the belt and you won't be required to do. That's like being the president of the United States or holding a government seat. You have a job and you have responsibilities to represent the people in your jurisdiction, in your area, to the best of your ability. We can't allow people to constantly not do their jobs and make excuses about how there's bigger and better things for them to do. The man has been inactive for over a year now. You're holding on to a fourth of the championship belts in a division and holding up the division and holding up a young fighter who arguably, and we're going to talk about that next as well, maybe even in the division too long. He's probably ready to go to 140. He's probably ready to go.
Yeah, but no, because he's a young kid, right?
Right.
Yeah,
he's growing.
No, I know what I was going to add to everything that you're saying, Clay, is that, again, number one, we didn't make the rules. So if you guys are following boxing, it's not like me and Claymore are the ones sitting there going, we'll have our fun fantasy opinions. This guy should fight this guy. But if the WBA, who is the sanctioning belt that Tank Davis holds, is the one saying Schofield needs to fight him next, then that's how he earned the spot. It's semantics to try to ask, how did he earn that spot? Because he earned the spot, right? Like, if the teacher gave you an A, Clay, in the classroom that we're in, I don't care if I don't think Claymore deserved an A. The teacher gave him an A. So what am I supposed to do? I need to do better, apparently, because I got a B+. Apparently, I need to do better than Claymore. Like that's how it is. And then the second thing I want to add, Clay, and I'll let you go on what I'll say is, what did Schofield actually say in that what you played that was disrespectful or somehow gets a Tank fan so heated? What did he say? All he said was Lamont. He said that about Lamont Roach, and he did not knock out Lamont Roach. In fact, Lamont Roach beat him. In fact, hair in your eye. If you guys are gonna mess with Rito Verhoeven and Usyk, then you guys better start talking about the Lamont Roach eye thing. All right? Because I don't want to hear it. That is a controversy for sure. So what did you tell me, Clay? Maybe I'm going crazy. What did Floyd Schofield say?
You probably are. We all are. In a crazy world, normal people will always be crazy. So you probably are crazy, literally, in this in these type of conversations when you're talking to potentially crazy people. Of course you're crazy, because common sense is crazy in a crazy world. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Vega. It says, right, what did he do to be the mandatory? Vega, simple. He's in compliance with whatever the WBA says he needed to do to be number one. I didn't make those rules. I don't make the rules. The WBA had a list of criteria. He fought whoever he fought. He moved accordingly through their rankings, and they placed him at number one. That's what he did to become mandatory. You see, that's all it takes, right? That's all it takes. And because of that, no matter how you feel, you may feel like he's not ready. You may feel like he's not good enough. You may feel like he won't be a challenge. That's great. That's great. Just Tank, beat him up, get him out the way, and get to the next guy if it's all about that. But why even go up the ranking system, get a number one, and be like, I did it. I did my job. Clearly, the WBA has rewarded me for what I've done in their sanctioning body rankings and put me in a position. And then when I get to the position, even though I'm number one, there's nowhere else for me to go. Tell me I still haven't done enough to get a title fight? It's fucking ludicrous, bro. It's insane. It's a mind fuck for a casual fan to get into a sport like this and reason with you on that, right? If you make it harder than it needs to be. Now the casual fan is sitting there like, he's next, right? No. Why? He hasn't done enough yet. So why'd you put him at number one? Put him at number 4. Put the guy who's done enough at number 1. Where's the number 1 guy? Why didn't you just put him at number 1? Why did you put him at number 1? And you're telling me it's confusing. I'd rather not. I'll just wait for Jake Paul to make his next fight. Your system is diabolical. It's hard for me to keep up with this shit you're doing with your sanctioning body. I can't keep up. I don't know why you're doing that. I don't know boxing that well, but if you give me a structure, I can follow. But if you're telling me the structure ain't, what are we doing? Just let me know when Jake's fighting again. At least it'll be a spectacle. At least I'll catch that. Let me know when Ronda Rousey's doing something. I don't know. Let me know when they're doing something. I don't get it. And boxing loses on the back end of fans reasoning with shit like that. We got to stop. Schofield's next. And now the WBA has ordered it. What the fuck? Can that be good enough? Shit. The WBA ordered it. Can that be good enough? Shit. It's so frustrating to sit in my seat sometimes and watch you guys reason the way you do. You're still sitting there saying, what? Fuck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They ordered it.
I mean, Clay, we just did this, right? We're in a space where you and me could agree on something, but still have two different viewpoints on it. And that's okay. But the rule is the rule, right? But what happened is what happened. And I'm talking about like you and me talking about Rico versus Usyk, right? Because we can look at it many different ways, and you see it one way and I see it another way. But it already happened, right? And since it happened, that's the result of what happened. Well, the result of what happened with Schofield, Claymore, is Schofield's mandatory. I don't know how he got to mandatory. I don't know. I don't know why that mandatory.
I don't know why that can't be good enough, Angelo. I don't know why it can't be good enough.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know why there's people still sitting here trying to take away this kid's opportunity, man. Like, what else? Tell him, somebody send him an Instagram message and tell him what he needs to do to get the fight, because I'm gonna tell you right now, the WBA rankings ain't enough, clearly. So he's unaware. I'd be confused if I was him. Like, okay, what is the thing that I need to do? I don't understand how you want young fighters to jump into this system and think they have any chance at becoming champion when there's always a way for the fights they need to have in order for them to become who they want to become. They're not good enough. And it always comes down to what? Money. It's ridiculous. So yeah, we welcome Zuffa. I'm telling you, with open arms. You better believe we do. Because the system, we need a merit-based system that will deliver the structure boxing needs in order for fans to be able to get behind the sport, for it to grow even more than it is. As long as we're continuing having these weird, hard comments, I don't even know how to talk. I don't even know how to respond to that. What did he do to become a mandatory? I don't know, bro. I don't even know how to respond to that.
Maybe Ray can tell him.
And by the way, shout out to Vega, because he's one of the high level scholars in like, as far as conversation about boxing. He's one of those guys. I'm completely aware of who Vega is. I've had conversations with him. I've listened to him talk, but those points of conversation confuse me, bro. When people come across the table, I don't know what to say to that. What conversation are we about to get into now? I got to prove that this man has earned a right to get a shot at a title. He's a number one for the past year and a half, by the way. He didn't just become number one yesterday or a month or 2 months ago. Year and a half, going on 2 years, this man's been number one, bro, and he still ain't done enough. Ray Davis, what's good with you, brother? How you
what's
doing?
up, man? Listen. We all know that team, I'm sorry, the team of fans, I mean, the fake ass real fans, they're casual fans, they like to call themselves in some spaces, to say the least. But they don't understand that the fact that Gervonta Davis hasn't had a mandatory since Rolly Romero, which really wasn't a mandatory because they subbed out as mandatory and then they forced the Rolly Rolando fight anyway, right? Afterwards. Gervonta Davis hasn't fought a lot of contemporaries. And this is not a shot at Gervonta. This is just his fans. They just have a fear of him losing to certain fighters. And I think when it comes along to this one, you have a guy that's explosive in the same height and somebody that has a lot of power with his punches, just like Tank. And I think that puts fear in the fans' heart at the end of the day. And this guy, Schofield, has been doing everything to make this fight happen. It's so quick, Clay. It's so quick to say that Bud Crawford needs to fight Boots after he beats Canelo. It's so quick to say Boots needs to fight the guy I'm not going to mention. You know who? It's so quick. It's so quick to put all these. Shakur needs to 100%. Go fight. You know what I mean? Shakur needs to go
Dimitri
fight.
Bivol needs to fight Benavidez.
Right. It's so quick to put everybody else.
Everybody.
Right. Throw everybody else in the hat. They're not even in the same part of the rankings. They're just other champions. They're just sharing spots across the board. Oh, they need to go unified. They need to, because we're the fans. We want to see it. So what? Guess what? Not only the fans, but the WBA respects this enough that they want to see this happen. Right? Because this guy's been waiting patiently. You got so quick to throw out that, oh, well, Boots was waiting. Why Bud move up? Why ain't y'all forced the mandatory on Boots and Bud? It was 147. You know why? Because of this shit right here.
Yeah. I mean, literally, Frank Warren.
Can I add this just real quick to what you're saying, Ray?
Yeah.
So I didn't even know this was a thing, Claymore, until I recently just saw Jaron. So Jaron Boots has dropped his interim WBA belt because apparently, bro, and I didn't know this.
WBO.
If you're not
WBO.
ranked in the WBO, you can't fight for the WBO belt. So in order for you to be ranked in the WBO, you can't hold another like interim type title. You can hold a regular title, but you can't hold like an interim
which is
title.
crazy. That's another crazy shit.
At least though, for me, okay, cool. You told me the rule. I appreciate it. As long as you follow the rule, I'm good with it, right? Schofield's a mandatory. That's the rule. I didn't make up the rule. That's the rule.
That's it.
Yeah, how about this one? Even with David Benavidez, who picked up a WBC, elevated to a WBC full champion, and is holding a regular WBA belt right now in the light heavyweight division, right? Because we know the one who's holding the big belt is
the
Bivol,
super is Bivol, right?
Is Bivol, right? So now the WBO is flexing their muscle with Bivol, saying that he got to fight Calum, right? Or they're going to take the belt. So they're getting in the way of the Benavidez and the Bivol fight from happening. Making
well, actually, it's also getting in the way of the Bivol Beterbiev fight.
Right, and the Bivol Beterbiev. Exactly.
Bro.
So there's always different ways that they're approaching this situation. At the end of the day, man, fight, man. We want to see the fights. As fans, I'm tired of watching fans knock down fights.
Yep.
Like, let's move the conversation forward and have the fights happen. Get it out the way. Schofield deserves his opportunity. I want to continue a little bit on what Schofield's saying here, because he goes into something else that I thought was very interesting right here.
That's a great point. Loma says he's returning, says he only wants big fights. I saw you put something on social media and you were making a point, Loma. Tell the people what was the point you were trying to make.
It was just like, because I seen that he wanted the Navarrete fight or the Tank fight. It's his comeback fight, which is great. You know, Loma's a great fighter going down in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. But it's like, nah, you gotta wait your turn on the Tank fight. You can go have the Navarrete fight, but on the Tank fight, like, it's my time. I've been waiting for 1.5 years. Number one, it's only right. Like, how are my peers? Like, Xander is already unified. You know, Xander's my boy. Mason has a title, going to fight Joe Cordina, and I'm up there with them. But yet, I still haven't got a chance to fight for that title because someone wants to hold it up. And no disrespect to Tank, but it's like, it's not even someone that's going through like hand injuries or, you know, just something dealing with their health or, you know, something like that. As far as boxing, it's stuff he's doing outside of the ring, you know, as far as being undisciplined. So now I have to wait on the back burner because this guy is messing up outside the ring. I think it's unfair.
Sure. And once again, biting his tongue. And this is why it's important for Schofield Jr. to get the opportunity he has right here with Ron Custer. Speak for himself. Because it's important that he gets a chance to communicate how he feels about the way things are moving around his career, bro, right? Like, he's being honest. Once again, respectful, right? Like, I'm not trying to ruffle no feathers, bro, but it's not like you're even hurt. It's not like something is happening on an athletic level that's you're doing things outside the ring, getting yourself caught up in things. And once again, it's not a shot at Tank. It's a shot at the WBA. It's like, do your job, bro. This man does not have a reason that you should care about to hold up the division. If he was hurt, fine. Acknowledge that he's hurt and stand by your hurt fighter. Let him be in recess. But why are we holding up the whole entire division for this man's personal issues? Why are we doing that? It is unfair. And I appreciate his position even on the Loma fight, right? Saying, I appreciate you, Loma, Hall of Famer. Respect. It ain't your turn, bro. It's not your turn, bro.
And Clay, this is the whole, when we were talking about the Ryan Garcia getting a shot at Barrios, even prior to that, we were like, Manny Pacquiao's getting a shot at Barrios. And you know I love Manny, bro. That's my guy. But how the hell did that happen? Exactly. Like where did that do? How did we get there? How did, Manny didn't have to fight? Because what I remembered, Clay, when George Foreman came back, is George worked his way up to 20-0 to get a shot at getting Evander Holyfield. They didn't just go to Holyfield right off the bat, bro. He actually recreated his career on the back half of being 40 and then getting a title shot at 43 and 44 and 45. You know what I'm saying, right? So I like, the more I hear Schofield speak, Clay, the more I like him, and we need to get that young man in the channel. He speaks very humbly. He's not talking smack. I didn't even hear him curse, bro. I haven't heard him curse yet. So he's just saying respectfully, y'all need to give me a shot.
Right. He's right. And he's right. You can't help you be a hater, bro, to hate on what he's saying in his position. It's almost, you'd be like, you're just wrong. You know what I mean? If you're gonna sit in front of this kid and tell this kid to not say what he's saying, I'm gonna question you. I think something's fundamentally wrong with you. I think the arrogance of you that he can't even say it that way. Because you guys always have complaints about the way Shakur say it, or the way David Benavidez will call out a Canelo, or the way, you know what I'm saying? You guys always have an issue with people just being aggressive. Like, I'm gonna whoop your ass, sign the paper, stop running for me. Your mama a hoe, nigga. I don't care about nothing you got going on. Brother, when I see you, I'm gonna spit in your eye. I'm gonna spit in your face. You better be ready. I'm gonna put a loogie in your face and in your kid's face when I see you. If you got a problem with me, fight me. You know what I mean? You want to defend your kid's honor? Your kid's a bitch. Your wife a hoe. I'm doing everything I can to get you mad. I want to trigger you. Give me a fight. Give me a damn fight.
Where's your Clubber Lang poster, Clay?
Yeah, it's over here somewhere, right? You guys have a problem with that, and I get it. I don't have a problem with that to a certain degree, right? Like, I think it gets.
And hold on. That's a bad example too, Ray Davis, because you're making Clubber Lang a villain. Remember, the reason
he just wanted to fight, bro. He just wanted to fight. The reason why
Clubber Lang deserved the title shot is he was the mandatory. That's the whole spin on the movie. He's like, I'm the mandatory. Your manager.
Clubber Lang's
a good guy, Ray Davis. He's not a bad guy.
Exactly. Just what Clay said, right? He had to force his way in there, though, right? On paper champ, did everything in his power. Talking about bring your lady, I'll take your lady home. I'm a better man than you, and all that. He had to do it, bro. He had to do it. Anyway, you know what I mean?
Your bitch, your mama a bitch for having you, your daddy a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Shout out to Gavin Goins in the building, 94.66 with the $5. Gavin Goins says he pulled out 2 of the last 4 fights, wondering why he not getting an opportunity. Come on, man.
Okay.
Ben could have fight for a title. Stop it. I listen. Fair play. Fair play, right? Like,
but you got to now talk about Tank and what he's done.
We got to talk about Tank, right? Let's stay on Schofield, right? On that. I love that point, right? Fair, Gavin Goins, fair play, brother, right? Like, I'm with you, right? He had an opportunity to become a WBC champion and fight Shakur Stevenson, but he got sick. He's poisoning, whatever it was. He talks about it in this interview. I'm not going to play, right? Should I play? Should I just play?
Let me say this, Clay. To your point, right? Yes, that is a great point. But let's look at it this way. Let's look at the contemporaries that take for it. Because last time I checked, Frank Martin pulled out of a Shakur fight. Let's look at it at another point. There's another fighter that pulled out of a fight that Devin was supposed to fight, that and Ryan Garcia, when he was a interim silver belt holder. And he pulled out of that fight to go fight Gervonta Davis eventually, right? He chased that fight and pursued it. But it was all okay because that was a big fight and big money day for Gervonta Davis. But now we have a guy who legitimately, right? Yes, he pulled out the fight. Yes, he dropped out of another fight. But he did do something significant. He stayed relevant, right? He was 3 or 4. His contemporary, one became a champion. The other one got beat. Another one moved up in weight. Let's look at it. Another one got beat. Matter of fact, 2 got beat. 1 moved up in weight. And now we're looking at this picture here and saying, okay, next up is the number 1 guy in Floyd Schofield. Matter of fact, we got to look at it for what it is, man. This guy has deserved his opportunity. And now you want to take it away because he pulled out of a fight? Guess what? I've seen worse things happen. We ain't talking about the guy that's at recess that we want to get a championship belt back to that literally put his hands on a woman. I'm sorry. Y'all defend that shit quick. And this is not the first time. They never stripped him before. But now this time, y'all wondering why he's a championship at recess. And it's okay for him to be there, hold on to that title and hold up the division. But it's not okay for this guy to get his points of being mandatory. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and once again, all the things that Ray Davis said is true, but the reason I don't go into those conversations is because I don't want to debate how people feel about, I don't listen.
You're right, Clay.
You're right. I know how I feel about his personal choices in life, but I'm going to keep it on Schofield, right? And say, it's fair to hold Schofield Jr. accountable for not taking advantage of opportunities they had in front of him. He did get out of those. Now, he's always had a reason. Whether we believe it or not, he's always had a reason, right? But I just want to let Schofield speak on it because Brian Custer
the other thing too, Clay, is we don't want to lose you guys in what we've been saying is we're holding the WBA accountable.
Right.
The WBA is the one. Don't look at like Claymore. You're saying, Claymore, that Schofield deserves a shot. Claymore's not saying Schofield deserves a shot. The WBA is saying it.
Correct.
We're just agreeing that.
And I'm saying that should be good enough, right? That's what I'm saying. That's good enough, right? That's a WBA belt. The WBA has spoken. That's why he should get an opportunity, right? But let him speak real quick because I want to go on to David Benavidez retired. Oh my God, bro!
Nice
I know people gonna be like, why haven't you paid for the premium shit?
Hell no. That shit.
No, bro. That the zone subscription's hurting us. That's why we can't pay for it.
Right. That, but I don't. You, my guy. I
appreciate it.
So,
long story, young fella. And you come down with that. Tell me what happened there. What happened, young fella?
Look, I hate getting back into that, but
I don't.
You, my guy. I
appreciate it.
So, long story short, a lot of people, they like to say I was faking.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing dead or whatever the case may be. Mind you, and this is what I like to go, because I feel like fathers and men would understand. I had that pretty rough performance. I wouldn't say rough, but towards the end, it was rough with Garone.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I was doing stuff outside the ring. I had just became a new dad. I didn't know if I was like worthy of being a dad. So after that fight, I started just like pouring into my son, being there for my son. So my dad basically presents the fight to me like, yo, do you want to take this fight? I'm like, yeah, let's take this fight. Long story short, we go to Florida. Stuff is happening there. I'm not going to get into that. 3 months, 3.5 months, I'm away from my newborn son. The most precious time you can get with your child.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to Saudi. So now we get to Saudi. I have the mindset, I'm ready to fight. After I got off a 16, 17-hour flight, I did 5 miles on the treadmill in the hotel room. Mind you, average person, they going to sleep. I was just so pumped up for that fight. I was on weight, as far as the WBC, they have like this little weight thing that you have to do, like to make sure your weight cut's being safe. I'm on weight, everything. So I think it's 2 days or a day. I think it's 2 days or a day before the weigh-in. I go downstairs to basically just to jog some, sweat, get a little workout in. And like all of a sudden I told my dad, like, I feel like I'm floating. Like it literally felt like I was levitating. Like when I would walk, it felt like I was gliding against the floor. And my dad, he was like, what do you mean? Like, stop playing. Like, that's nothing to be, playing about. And I was like, no, like, I really don't feel like, working out today. And then he was like, all right, you're already close to your weight. You just go upstairs, relax. So he goes downstairs to get a workout. And then my cut man and Joanne Guzman, they're in the hotel room with me, making sure I'm good and stuff. Long story short, next thing you know, I'm tripping out. Like, I'm like giving everyone compliments. Like, I'm happy. Like, it was up and down. And I'm saying that because, I hate to get back into it, but I got to speak the facts. There were like some stuff in my system that wasn't supposed to be in my system. And we got the toxicology reports and everything. And like, I can tell you like afterwards, but you know what I'm trying to insinuate. Like, yeah.
You think somebody did some?
Yeah. And so that happened. And then after that, it was like when I actually came to in the ICU unit or whatever, like I just broke down like in tears because like it's like I was on.
So I'm not gonna play the whole thing, right? So I'm one of the guys who's always said, no matter what it was, if you're sick, you're sick. because we got to remember Daniel Dubois also got sick in that same card. There was people out there saying that there was some shit going around, that people were getting sick. I think the whole point of playing that you were poisoned. I don't know what that toxicology report reported. I don't know what you ate, what it was, but if you're not going to provide the toxicology report, if you're not going to provide this proof, you should have never said nothing, right? I think it's fair play that the kid either had a bad weight cut, either overworked himself a little bit because he talked about running 5 miles coming right off the plane. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he picked up something and he got sick. He's not above being held accountable for whatever you guys want to hold him accountable for. But nothing that happened in Saudi Arabia justifies the WBA not acknowledging his position in their rankings.
Right.
It doesn't come full circle in touch, right? It doesn't come full circle. Like, we can't carry out judgment on Floyd Schofield Jr. off of something else he did when he's somewhere else in a different conversation that he's earned his right to be in, right? It doesn't make a difference. As fans, we're killing the sport when we don't hold these sanctioning bodies accountable to do their job. Because once again, it always comes back down to why even. And when you got fighters saying that, it's a bad look. When you got fighters saying why even, it don't even matter. Everybody knows it don't matter. It don't matter what I'm ranked at. It don't matter what. Ryan Garcia can come up with a loss.
Yep.
Never won a fight at 147.
Rolly Romero could come from nowhere.
Pick up a regular title, never defend it, and become a super champion.
And y'all okay with that?
Because and you're gonna have a hard time arguing. You're gonna have a hard time arguing rules when you guys have moments like this. Because when you're willing to play in the gray area, when it suits your conversation, but want it to be acknowledged when it doesn't suit your conversation, right? But the rules, well, hold on, not you. Not the guy who is just talking about the rules don't matter now, not you, right? So we got to be consistent. That's all I'm saying. We got to be consistent, man. We don't got time for all that talk. That's emotional talk, bro. Yep. People trying to wield privilege and leverage like it's their own personal weapon, bro. And they don't want to just hold fast and consistent to a rule so that you don't open up the Pandora's box of that being used against you later when your favorite fighter's in the crosshairs of the conversation. Because that's all that's going to happen. It's just going to come full circle to a situation that you want your fighter to be respected in, and he's not. And people are going to, I know I will. I'll let you know about today. Shout out to PR Death Proof and the Zuffa Glaze inbound.
He just wants attention, Clay.
No, I know he wants attention, but I'm not even mad at him, right? But I'm just gonna say, watch more boxing. That's it. Just watch more boxing because you have more to say. I think you've been consistently campaigning on this Zuffa hate train, and you just ain't talking about enough boxing for me to take you seriously. Talk more boxing. So I want to respect you as a boxing fan first. Make that your first impression. Show me your scholarship in boxing, be a fan of sport, and then I'll take you more seriously, right? But, you know, it's YouTube, right? So I ain't going to block you, bro. So,
right.
Unless you're going to do that thing you're doing, right? But I don't see it that way. It's unfortunate. I'm sure you do like boxing, but you seem like be lower than casual. You seem like you probably should be on like a hip hop channel or something so you can, you know, talk about. I'm sure you'd appreciate Clarissa Shields slapping or Alicia Baumgartner conversation a lot more than this boxing talk. I'm sure we're sitting here after that's way more your cup of tea. I don't want to stereotype you, but it feels like that's what it is because I don't know. That's the impression you're giving. Be careful. I'm being honest with you. I know you think I'm not that kind of person. I'm not out here. I'm just letting you know what it looks like. That's what I'm telling you. I'm probably wrong. I'm just letting you know.
But you're probably right at the same time.
I know. My opinion don't matter anyway, so don't let it sway you.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah.
Do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Don't let me sway you. I'm probably off. So continue. You know, don't feel insecure about being whatever the hell it is you are.
Damn.
Be confident. It is what it is. So
moving on with this, with the weirdness of the sanctioning bodies.
I'm not the validation point. Trust me, I get it. I ain't the one to validate you. Trust me, I ain't delusional.
Right. So, are y'all ready for the Zupa segment? Because here it comes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Zupa and their signings.
So if Claymore's ready to transition to Benavidez versus Opetaia,
let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, because remember how I did say when we had it was we had a lot of fun energy after the Benavidez fight. But I said that night, an offer is coming, Claymore. Trust me, it will. And when that offer happens, then we're gonna find out. And I'm still going to stand 10 toes down on that, right? I believe that Turkey will send a legitimate offer. My theory is this, Clay, and I'm just going to speak as an opinion, not fact-based or nothing like that. This is just an opinion. I believe that Bivol does not want to lose the Russia money after he fights this weekend. And the Russia money is really big with Beterbiev. So he'll let the WBO go. He doesn't care. I believe that Eddie Hearn, who is also the promoter of Bivol, is already scheming. As long as Ben Whitaker looks amazing, it's Ben Whitaker, Caleb Smith for the WBO next. Because he was already saying Ben Whitaker is supposed to do a big Nottingham, UK homecoming. Well, what's a bigger homecoming than world title fight? You guys wanted it. You guys have been telling Angelo your guy sucks. Well, here he comes. He's coming after the guy that would have knocked out David Morrell, who got knocked out by a substitute teacher anyways. So now Ben Whitaker is going to go get that guy, right? Hopefully. So that will kind of clean things up. And with Turkey, who Claymore played it in this channel before, Turkey gave 3 names to Benavidez. He said, Bivol, Beterbiev, Opetaia. Well, Bivol and Beterbiev were about to fight in September. Sounds like David doesn't really want to go back down and wait anyways. So an Opetaia offer is going to come. So I will stand 10 toes, Clay, that when the offer is legit, and respect to Jose Benavidez Sr. I've had several conversations with him too. He's a good dude, but I'm not going to believe anything about calling whoever. I want to hear lawyers and actual contracts. When an offer really comes, if Benavidez says no, Clay, I will speak on that. But if he says yes, the way you're saying,
on that as well.
Yes,
speak on that as well.
Speak on that too. So.
Right. So look, this is what I believe. I believe without a doubt the Dimitri Bivol fight is not likely at this point for David Benavidez. And the reason I say that is because it doesn't seem like David Benavidez is going to go back down to 175, or it doesn't seem like he wants to, right? On the back end, of course, of Dimitri Bivol now being into it with the WBO now, as far as that title is concerned, and him vacating it, and also the big Russian part of it, Russia, the money in Russia wants Beterbiev and Bivol to have that fight. There's money there. So I think Bivol is going to want to fight Beterbiev before he fights David Benavidez. I don't think Beterbiev is a worthwhile fight for David Benavidez to cut that weight, go down there, and be against a puncher like Beterbiev and potentially be depleted, right? On the back end of the relationship that David Benavidez seems to have with Turki Alalshikh, I agree with you completely on your idea of Beterbiev, Bivol, and Opetaia being on that list. 2 of those guys seemingly not being favorable for David Benavidez, who's already put out the energy of a 190 catchweight fight with Dimitri Bivol, right? So he's already letting you know, like, I really don't want to cut down to 175 again. Can we, right? He's already trying to, like, I want the fight, but my body, I don't want to do that no more, right? He feels real comfortable in the cruiserweight division. And he, obviously with Turki Alalshikh saying, I want to put money behind you and Alexander Usyk or Jai Opetaia, that changes things for David Benavidez as well. What I believe is happening is there's an active negotiation going on between Jai Opetaia and what's my guy's name, by the way, the WBC cruiserweight champion, by the way.
Yeah, no, McCallan. And that, by the way, that's been an active negotiation since February. So remember, they just needed to get around the WBC thing. It seems like the WBC is going to play ball. So something's going on the McCallan side, which, man, you should get as much money as you can, bro. Like, I'm never going to hate on that. Get as much money as you can. because I promise you're going to get your ass beat by Jai Opetaia. But go ahead, Clay.
No, well, I also believe that it's one fight at a time, right? The whole entire contracting for another fight before one fight happens is kind of like taboo now at this point, right? It's very, Turkey almost watched Alexander Usyk take a loss against Rico Verhoeven this weekend, right? And it's just got to get to the point where it's like, damn, man, it's hard to do that. So I believe that Jose Benavidez Sr. is in a position of, I want to lock in something for my son for him to get ready for. And I believe Turkey is not ready, or would rather not locking anything until that happens. So I believe Jose Benavidez Sr. probably reaching out, applying the pressure, saying, come on. You guys are talking. Let's get it popping. Send over that paperwork. We ain't get it yet. And I believe he probably is hearing a little bit of crickets, right? As Turki Alalshikh is the kind of person who's probably like talking to he's probably looking at like, wait, give me a minute. Because in all honesty, we're just ironing this out. And I believe there's still the lawyer situation with the IBF. He's probably trying to figure that out as well, right?
Yep.
Like, let me figure out this IBF title. Let me figure out this title. Big drama show, Undisputed, unified Lineal champion Jai Opetaia versus unified cruiserweight champion David Benavidez, I think is the goal. I think that's the big picture.
Yeah, Undisputed is the goal. That's
right,
the goal.
Undisputed, right? The big picture, the Undisputed, right? Lineal champion, Undisputed in the cruiserweight division, because arguably I would say whoever wins between David Benavidez and Jai Opetaia and becomes Undisputed is probably the next big thing in the heavyweight division, right?
And add to that, Clay, whoever wins between David Benavidez and Jai Opetaia, should it be for Undisputed, should be the next opponent for Usyk.
Well, that's
right?
that's my whole point. I literally was rolling into that, right? That the winner of this fight rolls into the heavyweight division as the next big thing and rolls right into an Alexander Usyk unified championship fight, at least, right? Lineal heavyweight championship fight, and probably is poised, if they can get through Usyk, to be the next big superstar in the heavyweight division, which I'm sure Turkey would love to have his hand around. So that's Turkey sees these big pictures. I think that the most important thing, though, in this conversation is that the Benavidezes seem to be on board right now. They seem to be like, we're here for it. And they're pushing, right? That's Senior letting it be known. Like, he's putting it out on the media world. Hey, I'm making phone calls. So he's reading the writing on the wall, but things still need to happen. The business of the sport is a business of the sport. Jai Opetaia is in a very unique situation with this whole IBF situation, in an active negotiation for a WBC title. There are things happening over there. I think the question for the Benavidez side of the conversation is, what are you going to do as far as, will you stay in the cruiserweight division? Will you take another fight in the cruiserweight? Will you be active, or will you wait on Jai Opetaia to square away all these things going on politically and then jump into that fight? What do you guys think he should do? What do you think he will do? But what do you think he should do in this situation as a fighter who wants to be active, obviously? Because I think that's what's going to happen. I'm asking you guys, what do you think he should do? Because, and I'm going to throw the link in the panel in a second as well, but what do you guys think he should do? Like, should he, because I'm going to tell you what I see happening. If he takes if he takes a fight, people are going to be like, oh, you know, if Jose Benavidez Sr. signals, we're going to move away from this right now because they're not ready, people are going to shoot shots at him and say, that's fucked up. What are you talking about? Of course they're ready. But he ain't going to be lying. He'll be right to say they're not ready because they're not ready. Right? But what does he do? Does he take a fight in the cruiserweight division?
Yeah. For me, Clay, I think it's going to take time, like what you were saying about Turkey. I believe that with the November Netflix date being Joshua versus Fury, because we're talking about Tyson Fury just this week, Frank Warren said, yeah, Tyson Fury's going to have another fight. Another fight? Okay. Right? Apparently, you know, like they're making sure that these guys are really tuned up, or I don't know, man. Don't mess this up. But November Netflix is supposed to be Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. How big would it be if the co-feature on Netflix was Jai Opetaia versus David Benavidez?
That's where the money is.
Covers the entire world of global sports fan base, right? So, in my opinion, I would love for David Benavidez to get another fight. In fact, I'm gonna tell you who it should be. How about Rob Safar, who really lost last Friday? How about knock out Rob Safar, who I thought lost to Peralta last Friday anyways. Rob Safar, who's undefeated. Name looks good. He's ranked in the number 10, I think, right now in Ring Magazine. Bro, come on. I'm not picking.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I put the ugly face, I put the stank face up at first, but I like it. I think it would make Rob Safar useful because, to be honest with you, he's kind of useless right now, right? And he's squeaking by these little victories, looking ashy as hell.
Damn.
He would actually serve a purpose. And I'm being honest. I want to speak very frankly on this, right? I want to say that Golden Boy could actually get something out of this dude, right? Like, because at this point, it looks like Golden Boy is throwing snake eyes with Rob Safar, right? What they thought they were going to get with him, he's not that guy, right? And before you know it, somebody who don't matter is going to beat him. You feel me? At least in this situation, there's a money fight on a big card. You put him in the crosshairs. David Benavidez can be very confident that he steamrolls this guy and gets right on the same timeline as Jai Opetaia on the back end, because the McKellen fight is supposed to be like what, August, September, right?
Well, it was supposed to be July 12th, but now I'm hearing it might get pushed to August. I mean,
to August,
it might still happen in July, but I'm hearing it might get pushed to August.
Okay, so they're basically damn near on the same time. It's like it's like females with their cycle, right? It's like they fall they're right on schedule with each other, and hopefully in that time period, the IBF situation gets figured out. Jai Opetaia picks up that WBC title off McKellen. He's unified, and boom, these guys are on the same schedule to fight each other. I like it. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah.
Is it crazy?
Yeah, listen, no, it's not.
Oh, no. Hey, Greg, can I give a couple more names and then I'll let you go?
Okay.
Another name, and you and I got to watch it, Clay. It was on the undercard of Wilder versus Chisora. Is how about Vidal Riley, bro? Vidal Riley.
Don't want that. Vidal ain't doing that. He's too smart. He's not doing that. His team is too smart. They're not doing that.
You don't think David would just destroy? You don't think David would just destroy Vidal Riley?
Vidal has a machine behind him, very similar to a Jake Paul machine. He's not doing that.
Okay, then my last one is they just awarded it to him, or it's something that they made sure that it's clear, is Michael Sislak.
Wait, not to cut you off.
I
think, by the way, I want to go on record. That would be a great idea, Vidal Riley fighting Jai Opetaia. And
right.
He's really in line for that title. So if they give it back to Jai Opetaia, or even set up a fight for a vacant IBF between them both, I think it would be. Actually, let's wait on. I'm going to wait on that, because Vidal has no choice. In other words, if it's fight for this title or lose the opportunity and go back to being a domestic level fighter, I would question which direction he'd go into. I feel like he wouldn't openly do that, but if you put him in the right position, and by the way, that would be a worthy fight to be on that card of Anthony Joshua and Tyson. That would be a worthy fight, Vidal Riley versus Jai Opetaia.
Right. No, well, my theory, or what I was throwing out, is I'm still on the Benavidez track. So I'm trying to give you fighters that can fight Benavidez as a in-betweener while Jai Opetaia is fighting Noel McCallan. Because I believe the IBF will succumb to the lawsuit and go, you know what, Jai, my bad, bro. Here's your belt back. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to be like, oopsie. We made a poopsie. Here's your belt back, right? That's what's going to happen on that one.
Or Vidal versus David.
Yes. Now, here's the reason why I'm saying it.
Okay.
Because we got a promotional machine in KSI, right? Vidal Riley's a YouTube star. I don't see, respectfully, Clay, I like you, Vidal Riley. I do not see a world where you will have a chance against Benavidez. I think Benavidez puts you away, bro. I think that's what happens.
I think he'll be more competitive than Zerto, though, because I don't think he'll be as.
I agree.
Lulled into that shit that Zerto lulled himself into, like.
I agree, but in terms of if David Benavidez actually wants to make money, and I dare say David Benavidez's brand maybe even grow it bigger, because it's an in-between tune-up fight. You do that shit in the UK, bro. And then now David Benavidez gets even bigger, right?
I like it.
Now his money grows, bro. His money grows even more. And again, all I'm giving you is Ring Magazine ranked people. So Zafar's number 10, Vidal Riley's number 8, right? And then the last name, Ray Davis, before we hear you, is what I was going to say is the number 4 ranked guy, and that's Michael Sislak, who is the interim WBC. And the reason why I say that would also be a good in-between type fight is I believe David Benavidez puts Sislak away. But more importantly, Clay, if Jai Opetaia beats McCallan, he's the WBC. Well, now Benavidez is the interim WBC. Ain't nobody running away from nobody now. Like, it's like you two have to meet. So that's how I at least see it. But go ahead, Ray Davis. Sorry to interrupt.
I love, real quick, Ray, just give Angelo his flowers. Beautiful take. I love the roadmap. I think it's one of those fights that makes complete sense for David Benavidez. I love it. Ray, tell me what you think about it.
I couldn't agree more with some of those fights that he mentioned. I swear the first fight is like the best fight, Clay. Other than that, I would throw in Mike Riley. I would say a beatable guy that can give us a good fight at the division, right? A Cuban fighter coming out of Ireland, some good looks. It gives us what did I say his name? Mike Perez. Excuse me, not Mike Riley.
Yeah, I'm about to say Mike
I was
Riley.
gonna say I don't even know who the hell Mike Riley. My bad.
I didn't know. I was
yeah, hold on, because he said Riley. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, that's a guy that
you meant to say Mike Perez. Just
right.
I said Mike Perez.
He fixed it.
But yeah, Mike Perez coming at, that's a guy that I can see also giving him a good fight. It's going to look like a tough challenge. I think he's got a guy who's got some losses, so he knows how to come in the ring and handle the pressure. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be too much on him. If he loses or whatever, he's going to go in there and give us a fight. It solidifies Benavidez, I think, morally than the other guys at the division, and having a couple guys that are swinging in there with a little bit less loss records and a O on their record, because I think, as you mentioned, I can't go wrong with the first fighter you mentioned. I mean, that's just crazy that you would just say that. And not no disrespect. I just think that what's his name is on par.
You're talking about Rob Spar, right?
Right. Thank you. And the fact that you're talking about doing it in England, and I think he's based out of that area because he's with Saudi, like the background. I think it was an Egyptian or something. I'm not sure, but he has a huge backing with Turki Alalshikh to be on the card, and to me that's a promise right there in itself. Especially coming off a De La Hoya fight. De La Hoya gets a bag. I love that fight more than anything, and because I think that's a winnable fight with an undefeated fighter, and it poses some least likely challenges to get him adapted to the division. I just think if he wants to get in the division fully and he wants to prepare himself for a Jai Opetaia, I think Mike Perez is the guy, in my opinion, on that one.
I like the Safar. I like the Safar fight because I know Safar is going to step.
Yep.
Right.
And because of that, it's going to give David Benavidez another opportunity to have a Zurdo Ramirez impactful highlight reel fight. It will sell the shit out of a Jai Opetaia fight.
Right.
I'm going to give you one more that I missed, Clay. So get ready for everybody who doesn't like to listen to Zupa talk. Leave the chat now. Zupa Boxing in the UK for the first time on Sky Sports is Caleb Christian William Smith versus Ryan Rozicki, bro. And Rozicki's been looking good when he came here in Vegas, so I think that's going to be a war. But Clay, the winner of that, brother, the winner of Rozicki versus William Smith after June 6th, that would be a good opponent for David Benavidez.
100%. I think so. Just to kind of like land this, we're all in agreement, and whoever comes up here, feel free to comment on it. His next fight should be a cruiserweight fight. If it's not against
100%, take on any of those
the division. Don't go down to 175. Don't do maybe a catchweight fight if you can line up the right catchweight fight. Do that, but stay in this lane. If Turki's not been the type of person to blow smoke, right? If he says he's interested, you already know there's money there. I see David Benavidez's next fight being in the cruiserweight division. I love the Rob Safar fight because I think stylistically it lines David Benavidez up to have another highlight reel like he did against Zurdo. I love the Vidal Riley fight because I think as far as crossover value, crazy. He might as well be fighting Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? If you guys, but as far as
that's wrong though, bro. But
I don't mean on the skills, but I think Vidal Riley's a better fighter. But I mean as far as the eyes, right? Like,
Right.
damn near a social media superstar, like a Ryan Garcia or a Jake Paul. Fighting without Rowley puts him in a big, just promotes even more. And then and I even like and I love the Mike Perez. I love the Mike Perez fight. Shout out to Well Connected in the building.
What's up, man?
Chilling, family. How you?
What's up with y'all?
Man, we
chilling, just listening to y'all.
Chopping up this boxing talk. What's on your mind, brother? Good brother.
Then I had to, I had to come out of retirement, man. Everybody keeps talking about they've been looking for my stuff, man. So
yeah,
I had to come out of retirement. Yeah,
if you feel ready to do it, man, we ready for you, man.
Yeah, I just interviewed. I interviewed Lamont the other day.
Okay.
I interviewed Lamont. Asked him a few questions. He said the questions I asked him ain't nobody never asked him. So I got y'all like I send you what's the name? A copy of it, Clay. I got y'all like a hitting little interview with Lamont. But yeah, I talked to Jose Senior, and they love the Opetaia fight. They really think that David gonna stop Opetaia early. They love that matchup. Like,
I love it too, man. I love it too. I believe it. That's why. But I mean, I'm not gonna put it out there. But he's the guy who I've actually who introduced me to Senior. Dub is the one who actually, my conversation with Senior was through Dub. You know what I'm saying? So, Dub has that relationship with Senior. They go back a bit. So they talk outside of interviewing. They talk.
That's a good dude. Out of everybody I met like through boxing, like Jose Senior, Lamont Senior, like probably the best hotter dudes you're gonna meet. Like you see how he just gave, you know what I'm saying, got an interview with you, just meeting you.
Yep.
Like he a good dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? He don't be looking at how many views you got and all that stuff. He just love boxing. He love talking boxing.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you in the whole situation we painted out, right? In other words, I think without a doubt, in my opinion, the Benavidez team is interested in the Opetaia fight. Especially if there's money behind it, right? Turkey's involved in it. They're interested because they have no reason to, like you said, he feels like he can get him out of there inside of a few rounds. But that being said, though, Jai Opetaia is in the middle of a negotiation right now with McKellen for that WBC title. And from what I'm hearing, there's stuff going on courtroom wise as far as lawyers and everything about that IBF situation. So I think all of that kind of needs to be ironed out. I feel like Turkey's looking at, he would like to see those guys fight each other for Undisputed. Lineal title, Undisputed, right? He wants Jai to beat McKellen, pick up that WBC title. They're hopefully feeling like they should win this case against the IBF and get that belt back. So that would put Jai Opetaia as a unified Lineal champion and make that fight with him and David Benavidez a big spectacle, right? It'd be Undisputed, Lineal, big show, but that seems like it's going to take time for them to iron all that out. In the meantime, what makes sense from your standpoint as far as the Benavidez? What should they do?
I know the fight. So the fights they said they want the most, right, in order was they want the Bivol fight the most. They said they love that matchup. They want the Bivol fight the most. They want the Canelo fight second. They said they offer Canelo a fight at 175 still for the belts or whatever. He said he want his son to get Undisputed at 175, and they still chasing Canelo. They still want Canelo. He like, you know what I'm saying? They want to be able to be Undisputed at 175.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
4 days ago.
And they're still talking about Canelo?
They still want Canelo fight.
I'll be honest with you.
They just asked him.
How do you feel about that?
And with the interview, I think he did with Cigar Talk or one of them. They asked him about that fight. He said he still want that fight too.
How do you feel about that?
I think David Benavidez is going to smoke him. I think beat the
I
brakes
mean, not
off
about
Canelo.
who wins. At this point, I'm personally past it. I don't
I
need to
think
see
they're
that
trying
fight.
to win the Mexican fan base or something. I don't know. It's a lot. I guess there's a lot of hate. They got a lot of hate towards Canelo. Like, he was Canelo mandatory for like 2-3 years and never got the fight. So
yeah, I think that's I think that's unfortunate that they're it's almost like a soul tie. You know what I'm saying? Like, let that go. There's so much other, let it go, bro. It's over. He's
You
not
ain't see the interview
fighting
he
you,
did?
bro.
I think he did with Cigar Talk or one of them, and he was saying on there he wanted the Canelo fight.
Bro, it's just.
And after he
I think
won,
that's
you ain't what he
unfortunate.
said? After he won, he said
That's
Canelo
like when you
wanted to
got
hit
your
him.
boy. That's like when you got your boy who's chasing this girl, and you see the girl all around town messing with dudes, and you look at him like, bro, fuck that.
You
Fuck her,
remember I
bro.
told you though, right?
Stop. She ain't
I
messing with you
remember.
like that, bro. She out here. My other guy did something crazy with her the other night, man. He was wilding out
You
with
know,
her.
some fighters
Stop.
be having like. So, you know, a lot of these fighters grew up together, like since they was young. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of fans don't be knowing that, but a lot of fighters be familiar with fighters because they grew up since they was young. So when you've been sparring fighters for so long, right, this fighter might be dominant to everybody else, but you know his weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? He been probably whooping your ass for so long that once y'all got older, you learned a lot of stuff about him. You learned his weaknesses. You learned what side he's more comfortable on, stuff like that. So it's like certain fighters, that's why they be trying to fight these fighters so bad because they are familiar with
It's a
these
personal
fighters.
thing.
And we look at it like, man, like you 25-2, he's 30-0 with 29 knockouts. Like, what you gonna do with him? But the whole time he got his number. You know what I'm saying? You seen that with Lamont and Tank. What people didn't know is Lamont and Tank been sparring and fighting since they was kids, since they was 9 and 10 years old. They didn't know that Lamont Roach Sr. was Tank coach in 2 tournaments. When Tank was scared to go out there and fight in the tournament out Florida, Lamont Roach was his coach. You know what I'm saying? Antonio Russell was his roommate. See, people don't be knowing that. You know what I'm saying? So when they see these fights being made, they be like, oh yeah, Tank gonna smoke Lamont. I told you and Ray that Tank wasn't gonna stop Lamont. And y'all thought, well, not you, but Ray thought that was a gimme fight. I wish we can go back in the tape. Ray thought that was a gimme fight. He thought that Tank was picking on him and that he
I
was
agree
doing
with that. I
that it
agree
was
with that.
easy. But what he didn't know was that these dudes been sparring for years. I'm gonna tell you a fighter right now that everybody in the DMV want to fight, but y'all probably look at him like he a dog and he probably smoke a lot of dudes. But a lot of dudes be trying to fight him, and it's crazy that he went on an interview and said something because I asked him on about this dude, right? Keyshawn Davis. The whole DC want to fight Keyshawn Davis, but everybody out in the public be seeing Keyshawn Davis drop these dudes and stop these dudes, and they be like, oh yeah, this person can't do nothing with him. But they don't know that Lamont wants to fight him. Gary Antoine Russell wants to fight him. Like you got prospects that's coming up. Jamal Harvey wants to fight him. They don't know that Jamal Harvey just made him look stupid out Vegas. They don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
They don't know
okay,
that.
so here's my point behind that, right? That's a great thing, by the way. And I love it, right? I think it's a great thing. I think Keyshawn should want to fight these guys too. But I just want to be clear. It's 2 ways to look at it. They want a great fight, and they know Keyshawn is going to be a great dance partner, give a great fight, or they're cherry picking because they believe they could beat him easily. Either way, right? However we choose to look at it, that's awesome. Fighters being confident and beating each other and fighting each other and what they think they can do. That's awesome for us as boxing fans. My thing is, let's put the fights on. You know what I'm saying? Let's figure all that out. Let's figure it out through the avenues we have in front of us as boxers. Let's not talk about it like street type talk or this guy's a bitch. Nah, we actually in a sport to where we can figure things out. You know what I'm saying?
No, they gotta
Let's
look at it
get
like that.
paperwork done. Let's put
They
pressure on our promoters and let's make these fights happen.
they just grew up with but you know, see, it's like top rank, certain fights, top rank not gonna make. You know what I'm saying? Top rank not to move. And let me ask you something else with the Floyd Schofield, right? I got a question to ask all 3 of y'all on the panel. What top fighter that De La Hoya has that don't even have a belt or not ranked 1 through 3rd?
Now listen, I'm gonna tell you this, right?
Just answer the question.
No, I am
What
going to
top
answer it, right?
fighter from Ryan
Listen,
Garcia?
wait, listen, right? I don't know all the way, right? I don't know all the way, right? But here's my whole thing, right? I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I don't care, and let me tell you why I don't care, right? The reason I don't care is because at the end of the day, the sanctioning bodies are the ones who
Because of
dictate
their
the terms.
relationship with De La
It
Hoya.
don't
Guess
matter
what?
for the. It don't
Lamont
matter the
Roach Jr.
reason.
was signed to De La Hoya. You see how quick he got a title fight? Everybody knows if you sign with De La Hoya, you're gonna get ranked easily. You're gonna get ranked easily
but
because of his
listen,
relationship with certain sanctioning
but
bodies.
Dub, it don't matter because I don't own none of the
Okay,
sanctioning
give me
bodies.
one fighter
I don't
then.
make the
Give me one
rules.
fighter in top 5 fighters.
I don't need one. I don't care. I don't, because if you want that belt, if you're holding that belt, then you fall
What's
underneath.
the cockeyed nigga dude name?
Hold on, you
from
fall
Philly?
underneath that belt's rules. And if
Look.
the WBA is because I'm not.
What's the cockeyed dude from Philly?
Hold on.
That Floyd
If I'm
Schofield
going to
stopped.
if I'm going to discredit anything in the WBA, then Tank is a fake champion.
Now we not talking about just the WBA. We talking about every.
Right.
Listen,
It all
what's the
comes
dude
to
from
itself.
Philly? The dude from Philly with the cockeyed. Tevin Farmer. How many times Tevin Farmer 4-4 built? And he was signed to De La Hoya. Do you say every time he earned that? Because Gary Russell did an interview and called it out that De La Hoya fighters, right? They get ranked easily because of his relationship with certain sanctioning bodies.
I mean,
look at Lamont Roach when he was signed with him.
But I mean,
Lamont Roach went straight up and got a title fight.
All you're doing is discrediting the sanctioning bodies,
right.
which I'm here for, right?
Yes, I am doing that.
I mean, that's what all our conversations will be about. We do that all the time up here, right? We talk about the WBC diabolical, WBO, but people don't want us to talk like that, right? They don't want us to discredit because they want to say belts matter. And I am surrounded by sanctioning bodies.
Back and forth with that, Clay.
Exactly. So I try to stay out of that, and I try to just honor their rules and say, listen, this is what they say, so I'm standing behind what they're saying.
Did y'all see the top 10 prospects though? They just did the list of the top 10 prospects in boxing. ESPN and USA.
No.
Now, look at the top 10 prospects in boxing. Out of the top 10 prospects in boxing, right? 7 of them from DC.
What are you trying to say, sir? No,
7 of them from DC.
I know. I know.
Ben Johnson. You got Ben Johnson. You got Dave Whitmire, the body snatcher. You got Nasheed Smith. You got Jordan Roach. You got what's my man's name? Scooter Davis.
Right.
That's 5. What's the other 2 I'm missing? You got
they got Jamal in there.
Jamal Harvey, 6, and you got what's the 7th one? Frank. What's his last name? I forgot his last name. The other ones is Camille Moten, Camille 8, the boy Amari Jones, 9, and I forgot the 10th one. I forgot.
I mean, that's diabolical. Well connected. They don't got Jaleel Hackett in there. That's wrong.
He's not a prospect.
Nah, Jaleel not in there.
He's not a prospect no more.
He's not a prospect.
Oh, he's not a prospect anymore.
Jaleel been pro like 5 years now.
Yeah, he's not a prospect.
For 4 years. Jaleel came out. No, he came out a year out of Shakur and them.
Is Emiliano Vargas on there?
Shakur and them pro for 5 years, right? No, Shakur and them pro what? 9 years. 8? Shakur and them class of 2016 or 17? Something like that. They need a class because all of them came out together. Boots, Shakur, Antoine Russell, Jermaine Ortiz. They got one of the best classes in a long time.
Did Hitchens come out with him?
Huh?
Did Hitchens come out with him too?
Yeah, Richardson Hitchens. They got a good class.
On that list? Is Keith Cologne on that list?
I don't think so. Nah.
I mean, he's
Keith Cologne didn't come out of that class.
Teofimo Lopez.
He didn't come out of the class. He's talking about a class of fighters. Hitchens. He's saying it. Oh, you're saying is he on the prospect list?
Yes, prospect list.
Oh, top prospect.
I don't know. I don't know.
No,
I named 9 of them. I forgot who the 10th one was. I got the list in my other phone. My other phone went dead though.
Oh, all right.
Okay, but look, we about to wrap it up soon, right? I gotta get ready for work tonight. This was a great show. I mean, listen, when it comes to the mandatories and the sanctioning bodies, bro, I'm gonna tell you straight up, and everybody should know it if they don't know it, but I'm gonna say it. I'm beyond arguing about those dudes and their rules. All I'm saying is whatever your rules is, enforce it. I'm not even caring about agreeing with it no more. I don't care because it's too much for me and I don't have enough influence to be sitting here focusing my energy on that. But what I will say is if you and the reason I say it's important for them to enforce their rules is because for the casual fans, right? If a casual fan is coming from outside the sport, and let's say let's say that casual fan is a football fan, a basketball fan, a UFC fan, any kind of fan of any sport, they coming from sports that have structure. When you try to explain to them why a Floyd Schofield Jr. is sitting at a number 1 position in a sanctioning body, but you're still trying to tell him why he hasn't done enough to earn a title shot, you're muddying the waters and you're making it hard for boxing to grow. If Schofield Jr. doesn't belong, hasn't earned a spot, throw that motherfucker down to number 4. Push him down to number 5. Put him where he belongs. But as long as he's sitting there in that number 1 spot, you're muddying the waters up trying to reason with a casual fan who's trying to follow the sport and tell him why somebody who's number 5 or 4 or not even in the sanctioning body rankings deserves a shot over him. It confuses the fans, and that's why they rather just watch Jake Paul fight somebody, because at least it's entertaining. At least it's a spectacle. But if you want me to follow the sport as somebody who's not familiar with the sport, and you want me to hang with the sport and be able to have conversations with you, it's going to be diabolical that you're throwing in my face that the number 1 ranked guy under a belt that guy has not done nothing to earn a shot for that belt. It's like, I don't even want to watch your sport no more.
Right.
I don't even want to watch the sport no more.
And that's what I was alluding to earlier, Clay. What I was saying is that you have 4, well, you had a couple of shuffles around, but we had 5 guys in total ahead of him. We had Muratalla at one point, won a championship. We had Zepeda ahead of him, lost his title shot. We had Andy Cruz, lost his title shot. We had Abdullah Mason, became a champion. We had the other guy got a title over there. I forgot his name, but he was above him. We just mentioned him, but he lost too. So we got multiple reasons why this guy got promoted to where he is because of the status, bro. He was hanging around the top 5 for the longest. All those guys got eliminated, and his point, he knocked out a guy that was, matter of fact, that's what it was. Tevin Farmer was ranked in the top. It was number 6. He knocked him out, bro. And he was like number 2 at the time. And they catapulted him because Andy Cruz went a different route to go fight Muratalla. We're forgetting the path that he took to get there. It is what it is, bro. And if it's
right, but just think about it though, right? Look at the say
stop playing Chadwick. You out here pushing out fake news.
Hold on. I'm going right now.
That's what happened.
You vacated?
Huh?
I'm on ESPN right now. I don't see any news on that yet. Let me type in Tank Davis.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Tank is moving up to 140.
I know he's moving to 140.
I don't know why y'all was even talking about that. Tank is
but what we're trying to ask, well connected, is it official that
right?
Man, Tank is going to fight. Listen, Tank is fighting Isaac Pitbull Cruz.
I know.
That's what they're in negotiation with. No, then he's going to fight Lamont Roach Jr.
But at the end of the day, until it's official, let me tell you what would have happened, though. Shout out to the WBA, right? Shout out to the WBA. Because what would have happened is, what I was scared was going to happen was they're going to let him hold on to that belt and go up there and fight Isaac Pitbull Cruz and let him. We're waiting on him to decide after he beats Pitbull Cruz if he's coming back or not. I'm glad they forced him to make a decision. I'm good. I'm finished with it. I don't need to see Tank fight nobody, bro. I'm over Tank.
We already know he's fighting Pitbull Cruz, and then he say he's gonna fight Lamont.
Right.
Out the Pitbull, and then he say he gonna fight
Gary
Antoine Russell.
I know the whole we talk anyway. So, but my whole thing is shout out to the lightweight division. Let's make that happen for Floyd Schofield. Get him in there with Lucas Body. Get him in there whoever he has to fight. Let's get an active WBA lightweight champion in the division, and let's start seeing some unifications. Let's see Schofield Jr. Because I'm picking him to beat Lucas Body, but Lucas Body could win too. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not a bad fighter. But I'm picking him. Whoever wins, let's see them fight Abdullah Mason, unification. Let's see Raymond Morataya, by the way. I hear you about the fight of mandatory. I'm cool with it. I'm hearing Shakur's very interested in that fight, so I think that's why he's hanging down at the lightweight division, because I don't think Raymond Morataya wants to be 135 no more. But I think he's hanging.
Floyd Schofield promised Gary Russell Jr. a title fight if he won a title.
That's a great fight too. Let's have it. I know. I heard it. I heard the conversation happening.
He promised him. He promised him and the PBC a title fight if he gets the belt.
No doubt. HLD was good with you, man. Hold on, man. My guy hit me with a link too, so let me hit the link as well. Order Tank Davis defenders that we like trying against Floyd Schofield.
HLD. Oh my God.
That's my God, man. My God.
Oh my God, bro! You've been boring us
with
Saturday, bro. Connected. You've been boring us. You've been boring us with your well connected BS, bro.
HLD, what happened?
Yo, you've been boring us. You've been boring us with your well connected, bro. Stay on topic, bro, man. Stay on topic, bro.
Shakur destroyed T.O.
Yo, hit a doobie or something, bro. You got
I
attention.
done brought the Mill City panel. The Mill City panel done came up on Plain Lorraine, bro.
T.O. wanted to kill himself and all that out of that fight. He sent that nigga to the psyche. He talking about killing himself. Man, what the hell wrong with T.O., man?
Poor guy.
HLD believed in him more than he believed in himself.
Yo, you believe more in the Benavidez Canelo fight than anybody else do.
Man, you
over here pushing that agenda.
Man, you believed in T.O. more than T.O. believed in T.O.
No, you want to hit on him,
bro.
bro.
By the way, hold on. Like 100 people in the building. Hit the like button if you haven't done it, man. Support the grind. Do that right now. I'm looking at you. Yeah, you. Don't look left. I can't even see nobody else but you. You. Hit the like button.
Connected and hit the like.
You hit the damn like button. Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't you hit the like button? Hit the like button.
Why you did it? No, you didn't. I think you did. Let Clay get that off, bro.
Yeah, whoever it is, you know who you are. I'm looking in the camera. I'm not looking at you, Dub. I'm looking at my community right now that's in the space. You know who you are. I'm not Dub C. Dub thought I was talking to him. I'm talking to you. Yeah. No, you. Yeah. Hey, no, don't do that. Don't look away. Don't laugh. Stop. Don't do that. Double tap on the screen or hit the like button. You diabolical, brother. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe, hit the fucking notification button and like the button. You're freeloader. Don't be a freeloader. I don't want to call you that, but if you're being that, I got do the right thing.
Your mama raised freeloader. The button is free, Clay.
You know the difference between right and wrong. You know the difference between right and wrong, right? God gave us discernment. The right thing is hit the like button. The wrong thing is sit here for 2.5 hours while we building. And
I've been with my man when you
had. You heard what connected? You hit that like button. Hit that like button.
Why I been with my man since he had 10 subscribers? What are you talking about?
I know you hit the like the link, but you hit the like
from the beginning. Matter of fact, me and Clay beef started Clay off.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's true, yo, Dub. That's a whole different story, bro. All my best relationships I have on this boxing space started off with me and the crosshairs, some shit. Dub was coming at me. Ray Davis.
I'll beef on Blue Blood started his channel.
I was laughing at Clay.
Coming after me. HLD was coming to get me. The HLD was on my head, bro. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But those were my best dudes. Only Angelo came on here with was open arms. It was love from the beginning. It's just been that. All the rest of these guys were trying to get me.
Hey, now listen, I'm keeping it real.
Angelo had to climb to the bamboo, bro.
Everybody trying to fight.
Hold on. Everybody, hold on. I got my guy Stan from Jersey, man. I don't know. Hold on. First of all, let me mute you for a second.
Somebody's got playing.
Yeah, it's him. Don't hit the unmute button, Sam. Sam is one of the biggest supporters of this channel, bro. He's always showing love, bro. I'm so excited that he's here right now, so I gotta give him a moment to get it off.
We gotta mute everybody. Hey, Sam from Jersey, mute everybody.
Go ahead, Sam. What's good? What's on your mind, brother?
What's going on, fellas? Hey, I just wanted to give y'all my flowers, man. Claymore Rain, Angelo Reyes, Ray Davis want to give y'all my flowers, man. Y'all represent it very, very well, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it.
Y'all always keep me entertained when I'm at work. I'm out here driving this trash truck, loving this boxing talk, man. I just can't get over how well this channel has intrigued me over the years, man. You know, I remember, Clay, you was on Blue Bloods screen with the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. You had me rolling that night, man. I was crying. You was just had me rolling, man. I had to go ahead and tap in. Look, I didn't come to stay long. I just wanted to say what's up to y'all. Tell y'all, hey, look, let's make the fights, man. Make the fights happen. Man, I want to see Opetaia. I want to see Benavidez. I want to see Bivol. I want to see it all, man. You know, shout out to Zuffa. I'm a big Zuffa man. If I could wear the Zuffa jacket, I would. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for it because I'm all for the fighters. You know, I'm from Jersey. Shout out Ray Davis. You know, I'm from Newark. You know what I'm saying? You know, I grew up. I seen Shakur a couple times. You know, when he was a youngin', and I'm like, oh man, to see him where he at now is like, you know, it's amazing. You know, I'm a fan of the sport. Never really a fan of any fighter. You know, shout out to all them guys. You know, I mean, they do their thing. You know.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Hey, Sam, man, we got to get you to a Zuffa boxing event. You got to come over. Come over to Vegas, bro. We'll get you in a Zuffa boxing event.
Vegas, bro. We'll get you in a Zuffa boxing event. Hey, you know, this company out there in Vegas, Republic Services, they out there, so I might, you know, pull up one day.
Word first, baby. Especially in these times, man. I hear you, man. Get your money first and take care of the home base first. Take care of the home base first.
Facts, man. Facts, yeah. Yeah, but I was going to tell you guys. I was going to tell you guys, hey, look, man, every time you guys do a live, every time you guys do a Read the Ring episode, you know, I'm tapped in. My wife's like, hey, what you watching? I'm watching Claymore Rain and ATP. You already know.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, man. I think we're building a good brand over here, man. We're doing a good thing, man. We're trying to push the sport, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Always. Just want to tap in with you guys. Hey, Reyes, you my man. I can't stop laughing at you, man. When you and Clay get the bantering, it makes the best lives, man. When y'all get to going back and forth, it get to makes the best lives, man.
Sure.
That's why he laugh. That's why he laugh when I come up here. He laugh when I come up here, me and Clay go at it. He be like, "Yeah, not me today."
Hey, Reyes does have one fan. Reyes does have one fan.
Hey, Clay.
But look, guys, I'm peace, man. I got to get off the clock. I respect y'all. Y'all doing y'all thing, man. I got to get off this clock, head home, man. Holla at y'all later.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Hey, Clay.
Yeah.
I just want to clear something up for the panel, man. Shakur's not from Jersey. I don't care what nobody say, what he says. Shakur's from Virginia. He's from Alexandria, Virginia. That's where he's from. He's
that
not
man
from
no Jersey, man.
So he's a part of DMV.
Right.
Shakur's
from Alexandria, from Alexandria, Virginia. He's in the new projects. Him and Keyshawn. That's where they met each other at. He went to ABC Gym. That's why Troy Isley know him. All of them know each other. You see, his whole crew he hang with is from Alexandria, Virginia, or stayed at Alexandria. Why you think him and Antoine Russell got pictures when they was young?
Okay, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
He came out
right?
when he was 13 years old, right? He didn't leave until he was 22, 23.
For boxing, boxing took him there, but he's from Jersey. He ended up out there.
He came down here when he was 13, right?
14.
He left when he was 23. So when you was in Jersey, when you was 1 to 12.
That's enough time,
bro.
But you was in Virginia 13 to 23.
His mama and his siblings live in Jersey. The only reason
he left Jersey to pursue boxing for the Olympics.
No, that's not why he came. That's not why they came to what's the name? First off, Keyshawn came to Virginia because his brother caught a body or something out. Norfolk. So he came to Alexandria, right, and moved with his sister. They moved him and the younger brother Keon with the sister, right? Boom.
Hey Clay, what you say earlier, bro? I don't care.
Yeah, I don't. It don't matter. But listen, I want to pull this up right quick because and then we out of here, bro. Shout out to HLD, man, always bringing in that fire. Hold on,
HLD ain't bringing nothing.
Yeah, he did.
I'm at to call Josiah Mom up.
Yeah, he did.
We're gonna get some clarity on that.
Hold on.
Oh,
share. Okay, so this is interesting. When did he post this up? Today. So, okay.
What is that?
Floyd Schofield. Oh. Okay, so let's read it here. It says, no one pulled out of the Shakur fight. The British board pulled Floyd's license because he was in the ICU. Okay, so I believe that. He says, we know what happened and who ordered the hit. That's crazy. With God, you learn forgiveness. We wish them all well. So here's a forensic. Let me magnify this. Here is the forensic drug testing report. This is in San Antonio, Texas. Does it have a date on here?
Molly and Xanax. Molly and Xanax in the system.
Hold on.
Let him read.
March 6, 2025. Collected date March 3rd, 2025. Overall verified result was positive. And he had marijuana metabolites in there. He had drugs in his system. Okay, listen.
Said that.
Yeah,
listen.
he had ecstasy and some other
It
shit.
said Molly and Xanax.
Molly.
I want to say something, right? About this. And here comes me being I'm being honest with you as somebody who's I've played around outside. Don't let dog speak to you, right? I'm telling you, I played at a decent level outside. All right.
Somebody played outside.
I'm just being honest with you. I played around outside, and shout out to a kid, shout out to senior. I think it's easy to try to say somebody else put that in your system rather than what is more realistic.
You gotta see the interview that he had with
I just want to be clear, right?
Why would somebody put Molly and Xanax in your system? That's an upper and a down.
Hold on a second. That's a party cocktail if I ever heard one. That's not one thing, right?
Well,
so there's not one thing that you're gonna put on your finger, wipe on somebody's neck, and make them pop from Molly, ecstasy, bud, everything at one time, right? Now I just want to give a scenario. We're all fathers here. We all have children. If your kid is tripping and you come to find out he had all that in your system, I think, what is your kid going to say? I don't know how it got in my system.
Of course.
Right?
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, but hold on
Hold on, let me go first.
I want to make sure I can play devil's advocate.
You don't need to play devil's advocate.
Wait. Everybody hold on.
We can have a normal debate.
Let's start at the top. Ray, go ahead.
I just want to say he had a ninja masseuse hired by Shakur that just wiped this chemical in his body, bro. We already know what happened. His father said it was the masseuse with the magic lotion, dog.
Nah, that was the Xanax.
Man. But listen, I think it's diabolical, and I think we've been saying this the whole damn time. That he was on drugs. I said it was Oscarine, right? I thought he was on that Oscarine stuff. And I think Oscar was there, and I think they tried to mask whatever was in their system so he wouldn't fail for any type of weight loss cut drugs that he was on. And it is what it is. Okay,
that's a lot. That's a lot. I guess it could be that. Go ahead, Angelo, real quick.
Yeah, can you do me a favor though and just mute HLD because he always be talking over everybody. He's talking over Ray Davis. I was trying to understand what Ray Davis was saying, and all I heard was HLD's hating that.
He wants his one fan to listen to him. Go ahead.
All right. Oh man. So no, I was just gonna say, Clay, that I'm going off of your scenario of our kids said that to us, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I would also believe my kid if he said he didn't do it and he believes his drink was spiked. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I would also believe that if it, again, it'll be whatever it is. I just care that my kid is safe and healthy. So going off of because somebody else said it, I think it was James Johnston from Scotland. He was saying, well, his drink could have been spiked, right? I just want to throw it out there as a possibility. That's all.
Okay. Dub.
Okay, so you talking to a person that has played in the playground too, right? Anybody that played in the playground know that when you pop Molly and you too high, you either pop Xanax or you pop perks.
Yep.
That's one is an upper, one is a downer. Molly is an upper, like Coke, like E-pills. So when you too high off of Molly, E-pills, or Coke, they pop Xanax or snort dope or they pop perks. So they have both, and he had weed in the system, which is another downer. So he was off the Molly because people work out off the Molly. You know, the Molly keep you up, man. It has you running around like you crazy. It also make you horny as I don't know what, but it still had you running around and had you all hyper and stuff, right? So he probably was off the Molly working out and stuff, and he was too high. So he popped the Xanax and smoked the weed to try to come down, because that's a downer. He had one upper and one downer. There ain't two uppers, there ain't two downers. It's one upper and one downer that was in the system. Two downers in the system and one upper. So I think he was off that Molly and tried to come down.
Yeah.
Oscar Wayne, masking agent.
HL, talk to me.
All right. The only thing I have a problem with is look how long it took to release this. But we're not going to forget where this was at. You're not getting that shit in that country without risking going to jail for life over there. I mean, how did he get that shit over there?
He didn't. It happened in Texas. It's
Huh?
from Texas.
That ain't true. You could get that over there.
No, you ain't getting that in Saudi.
Let me tell you how you got over
there.
Hold on. Clay, pull that up again so you can see where it was.
Well, yeah, he had the taxology report done over here, but he had
you talking to a dude that traveled with fighters.
That's fine. That's fine.
I traveled all over with fighters.
You traveled to Saudi Arabia.
God.
Not Saudi Arabia, but I traveled.
Okay, then. Okay.
All you gotta do is check it. Put it in the condom.
It's not the same.
Put in the condom and put it in
It's not the same, my man. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Let HL go. Go ahead.
It's not the same. You're not risking doing that shit over there with the amount of penalty that you're gonna have in Saudi Arabia. You really don't understand. It's obviously you don't have a clue.
If you go over Europe, you can do it.
No, I didn't say Europe. I'm saying Saudi Arabia.
I'm saying it's still another country. You still go through the same.
He's right, bro. Saudi is
very strict.
You're not playing, bro.
Like I remember TSA though. When you fly,
bro, it's right. I'm telling you, Saudi's different. You will lose your freedom. They will hold you forever.
They'll take your passport. You be done, bro. You be asking President Orange to try to get you out. You be asking President Orange
to get you out. You can beat the X-ray machine. What are you talking about?
Oh my God, you're talking domestic, bro. Pipe it.
Listen. I'm trying to tell you, dog. You're right. Most people know. I know this. My friends, they'll do that. Like shout out to Red Cafe. And all that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I would encourage
those games. They're not going over there playing those games. It's a different energy out there, bro. It really is.
I would encourage everyone to watch the interview that Schofield just had today with man. I keep on forgetting his name. I don't know why. The guy from Showtime, bro. The
Custer's last stand, bro.
Yeah, him, bro. So he had a good interview today with him, and he went through what he experienced that day in detail. So I would just say just listen to the interview. Yeah, we can have a lot of speculation. I know, like I said, I don't like that it happened. You know how long it's been? Over a year now since this happened. So he didn't release it. Whatever. But how you get that shit over there? On top of, look, man, I'm gonna say the name. Jay Prince is involved in this shit too. So I know for a fact that there's a big head honcho over there. Big head honcho, and both sides.
I know for a fact you took marijuana over there.
Bro, blah blah blah. My point is, there. You have to look at this with kind of like with an open view and just see things as where they're at. This toxology, I believe it has a hair sample too. So I if I'm not mistaken,
that's 30 days. Listen. Let me tell you something, bro. The test was done on March 3rd, right?
When was the fight?
The fight was
February 22nd.
Right.
So, but this happened when they were in the hospital. That was like February 21st, February 20th, like around that time. Like maybe even February
19th. Before. 2 days before. No, the day before.
No, it was like 2-3 days before because Josh Padley had got flown in. So I think it was like 3 days before the fight.
They had 24 hours to fight him fight, right?
No, there was.
Oh no, you're right. 2 days. It was 2 days.
Yeah,
it
was
was
like 2 days.
24 hours.
So now he's showing a text message here, right? That says, check your hotel bathroom trash. There's a baggie that was used on Junior with the mix of Molly and Xanax. Trust that's your only proof, mate. Bro, first of all, the person who sent this message, how do you know what's in this guy's trash? And if it was in the trash, why did you leave it in the trash? And how do you know what was in the bag in the trash?
That's terrible.
That's crazy. Why would, you know what I'm saying? This isn't something to take lightly, senior. I'm not trying to play no games. I got love for y'all and looking out, but they spiked your son. Bro,
here's the problem I have with that, Clay. So we don't know who sent this text. His son's phone could have sent that text, blah, 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 back and forth. It doesn't say names. You know what I mean? It just says who.
Forget the text. My thing is, you're in a hotel, right? You're in a hotel and somebody knows that inside of your trash can in your hotel room, there's a baggie in there with a bunch of stuff in it, right? Now, I'm believing I want to know what was tested. Was what was in this bag tested? No, it was the hair panel. Okay, it says hair 10 panel, which is a big time test. The hair panel is a big test. Like it takes you back 90 days. A hair follicle test will take you back 90 days.
For certain drugs, it does, right?
I guess, yeah. I'm not that deep into it, but I know it'll go back 90 days, especially for like the marijuana, for example. You know what I'm saying? I know that's definitely 90 days. So I don't think this helps their argument. I think that for the love of God, stop talking about this. Leave it alone. Stop. People, especially in this community, right? In this community, when you got the dubs, you got the HLDs, you got me. Like, you know, and what I'm saying by that is people who knows a lot about.
Hey, I sold the Brooklyn Bridge a few times. Just
right, exactly. By the way, that's what I mean when I say play. I don't mean play by like I'll never fuck with none of this shit.
Right,
but I'm saying like, I'm talking about the other side of it. You know what I'm saying?
Clay,
what?
I just talked to a coach that went over there, and he said that they took marijuana over there. So how the fuck they couldn't get Molly or Exy over there? That's small.
No, they smoke hashish over there, bro.
That's small. Molly and Exy are small though.
But I think what Clay's trying to say is it doesn't matter how it got there or whatever the case may be. What we have is we have circumstantial evidence that this guy was on something, and that's the reason why they pulled him out the fight. All the stuff of how it got there, this and that's irrelevant.
Stop.
No, it's not irrelevant because we're trying to say if he took it or did they drug him with it.
Well, we don't know.
So it's not irrelevant.
Well, he said you guys have to watch that interview with Brian Custard. I'm telling you, it was dropped today.
I watched it. So what part are you talking about? Because I had
how he explained how what was going on after he did the check-in weigh-in and what he was feeling between when he was going to go to the gym and his dad went instead because he said he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah,
and that's
so
when
I played
for everybody.
Oh, you did? My bad. I came in late then. My bad.
I crashed out in the room. He said he started feeling crazy, walking on water.
And then he started feeling happy. He was up, high, down. He was going through a whole bunch of different emotions. Bro,
you don't look like a kid who does drugs to me.
You don't look like he does either, but
that's how much can you judge by it, right?
Exactly, because I'm trying to tell you.
But I'm gonna take him for his word.
I done had the weirdest girls like that never looked like they was like that.
Yo, and then Clay, I know one fighter. I hear you.
Hey,
listen, I know one fighter that every time.
Hey, Clay, that's my prerequisite.
Hey, look, I know a fighter. Every time you see him,
I done seen him. I done seen a church girl get weird stuff put in her behind, bro.
Hey, look, I seen a fight. It's a fighter. Hey, Clay,
a church girl.
I know one fighter. Every time he fought, he was twisted. I know a fighter. Every time he fought, he was twisted. Erickson Lubin. That he stayed twisted.
I think at the end of the day, let's not do that. Let's not do that. I don't want to do that.
That's allegedly.
Don't put no names out there and don't put no down. We're not doing that. All I'm gonna say is leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Move forward.
It happened over a year ago.
You know what I mean? Dropping that, I don't think helped him at all. I don't think that helped him at all. Putting this picture out here.
He should have released that March 11th. What date was it released?
Yeah. Or at least April, right? Like, but
no, the next day.
We're in 2026. All right, we're in 2026. We're in damn near June of 2026. Over a year from that date. This is the things that where it's like senior respectfully. Bad move. Strategy for what? What are you doing here? Because all you're doing here is confirming your kid was on drugs. That's what you're confirming. That's
the fact. That's the fact that he put out.
Right. You're not. It doesn't show that somebody else did it. It doesn't show.
How did he know the bag had Molly and Xanax? He tested.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that right now. What is that?
How did he know that?
And here's the funniest part, and I think we're all missing this. I kind of understand where Clay coming from with this. This test was done after they got back, right? So they could have did this shit at home to cover up any information. No. I'm just speculating, just for a little point, like to say we don't know what happened. We could have, should have, would have, right? We don't know when this thing happened, before, after, and during. We don't know. The fact is, the test was done after they got back, so it could be any type of cover up. It could be real. It could be anything, and we're too busy trying to stamp the damn troll to make sure that we got you, man. Like we playing detective. Got him.
Yeah, no, but more importantly is Senior, you're fueling it. You're giving the fuel to the fire. Leave it alone, bro. Right. Your kid was sick. Something happened. You don't know why. It's another day. But when you bring this up, you're going to open up these old wounds, and your argument is not there. You want it to be black and white. You want to be able to be like, see, I wasn't lying. I was telling you. You're not telling us nothing but that kid was on drugs.
Right.
That's that's not good. That doesn't look good for him. That doesn't help him out. Leave it alone. Close that book. Move on. You got Tank Davis in front of you trying to fight, or you're trying to fight for that title. We're trying to support you. We're trying to support you and be like, yo, give that man his flowers. Give him a fight. You don't need to bring that up, bro. That was ridiculous.
Absolutely. Why they ain't take that Lamont fight when they was offered that contract? Why don't they ever talk about that?
Because
they want the big money, man.
Clay, what I tell you, he trying to get out of that Oscar deal, bro. He need that money. He need the money to close that deal.
Hey, he tested positive for 2 things. It was amphetamines and MDMA.
Listen, we already heard it.
That's Molly. So it was only 2 things.
I don't even care anymore.
No, but I'm just correcting what Elite blah 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 was saying, bro. He only tested positive for 2 things.
How you gonna disrespect Nook like that, bro?
HLD, me and you throw the gloves when I knock you out. HLD easy. Me and you throw the gloves when I knock you out.
I don't even know who you are, bro.
Yo, I'm just saying.
I can't do this with y'all, bro. Listen, shout out to everybody in the building. Ayo, everybody in the chat, hit the like button if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Until the next one, man. I appreciate you guys. This is your boy Clay. It's your boy Ray Davis. It's your boy Angelo Reyes. Shout out to HLD Dub on the panel. It's that ATP Combat Media Show. Until the next one, guys. At this point, guys, tomorrow Antonio Vargas. Showing up for the interview, man. We're going to be talking about Jesse Bam Rodriguez, obviously. It's going to be a great interview, bro. Shout out to my people at the Zone, Mike Leon, for coordinating this, man. I appreciate you guys. Until the next one, bro. At this point, we out.
Gotta aim for the top like hold up. Yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got them, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help, I know you wishing me well. A penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy. The richest got a mad ass son, I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up, whole team with me. But known for my city like OAGZ. Set the pace as long as you finish. Consumers find a way inside your business. Babble if they try to dabble in it, and they hate the fact that they might have to witness. You trying to aim for the top like this, and you're in your element with a fire like this, and they hoping you fall and they praying you miss, but it's all in the risk. I got you with the switch, you know.
I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got.